Good evening and welcome to the Darkmom Consortium for March 13th, 2020. I'm Mom.
It's Friday the 13th.
It is Friday the 13th. Holy schmoly. I've been playing Hearts and Minds all day and never put it together. It's Friday the 13th. Duh. Hi, Sav. How are you today? Let's see if I can find myself today. There we are. Back to you, Sav. Well, I only heard DT announce himself. Everybody else, come on, say that you're here. Come on.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Everyone's here. You should be
It's
here
Mom,
too.
it's me, it's a bunch of strangers.
It's Mom,
it's
it's
the
me,
party,
it's a bunch of
folks.
strangers. Hey, for everybody who's involved in the not the dilithium miner, the farmer outfit from yesterday, I forwarded it on to the person who had made the requests, and he says thank you. Now that I get to be at home once in a while, at least a little bit, I can do some practical things with my time. Melly Marty has sent out a comment from the World Health Organization, which is, the World Health Organization has announced that dogs cannot contract COVID-19. Dogs previously held in quarantine can now be released. To be clear, who let the dogs out? Badum Tish!
Who let the dogs out?
Who? Very good. Very, very good, Melly Marty. It is a good joke. Hi, Susan Ray. How are you? Fresh blueberry pie, Sav. That sounds awesome. Yum, yum, yum. I love
I was
blueberry
looking forward
pie.
to cookies, but we know Slav doesn't save the cookies for Mel's people.
Sav eats all the cookies herself.
I know.
So we are going to be talking Picard tonight because we can. Well, Sav says she shares. Thank you, Sav. Hey, don't forget, if you're in the fleet, that there is an event listed in the fleet for April 11th. So, fleeties, go check out your fleet event.
No.
No? You're not going to?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
Oh, sorry, wrong fleet. I'm not in the right fleet at the moment.
I'm not in the right fleet right now either.
Hang on a second. Let me go jump into the right fleet. I'm in DT's fleet.
So was I.
Oh, well, there you go. I did mine in alphabetical order today. But I still have a bunch of ships to kill, so we may have to do some work.
That one.
Yes, that one. So here we go. There is a news event here. Let's go to our events. On April the 5th at 5 p.m., Sav's birthday slumber party. Slavs.
Don't you mean the 12th of April?
It says April 11th on mine.
It's because, sorry. It's because I'm another time zone.
Yes, you are. So yours would be starting a little bit later in the day and going on to the 12th. I think I will RISVIP. I shall accept the invitation. I shall be joining. Why did that mean?
I actually RSVP'd.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see my RSVP?
I did not.
I wrote,
I don't know if I can...
Be cake?
Will there be cake? Yeah, I think because it's Sav's event, I can't see it.
No, but you can edit it, I think.
No, if you look on, you get the accept thing, you can actually see the messages on there. I see pie going, will there be cake?
Hey, does that mean we can go to the party naked, Sav? As long as we don't turn on our cameras? Because that might be a little scary. It might be, like, really scary.
What's a sleep hour without a horror movie?
That.
I think it depends on who's going to attend.
Hey, Susan, you're building your own gaming desktop. Congratulations. I theoretically built my own in the sense that I looked at my husband and my son and said, hey, I need a new machine. My old one's kind of going away. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll do it.
I built my own. Mom's seen what my machine can do.
I have. Ooh, and I have some ideas about the layout for Vegas, so we just need to do the money part of it. Money part! We're going to be grubbing for money here for the foreseeable future. We've got a new book that should be out probably 30 days from now. That'll be volume 3. Somebody else is working on volume 2, and I am not talking smack about him because he has got a job to do. aside from doing this, I don't have a job anymore. So, spoiler.
What's
Hey,
the
I can't
volume
spell.
you're gonna be all your walking around, running around?
It's
book?
going to be, I think it's going to be ground game mechanics. I was going to make it just game mechanics. We'll see how much of it is ground and how much we can make into space. But we'll see. We'll see. At 10,000 words just on running, it needs some editing, but I sent it off to you so you can make comments, delete things you think are redundant, and need some adjustments. You can also donate to us.
Not really good when I get the time. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know how
there you go.
time gets for me.
I do know how time gets for you. Hey, Sav's got a job interview on Monday. Congratulations. Best wishes. I hope it's a job that you enjoy. Right now, I'm enjoying the unemployment because I got a paycheck today, which they shorted. We'll
Of
talk
course
smack
they
about
did.
them. Well, it ticks me off because I used to do the... I'd take the mail over to the post office because the guy who picks up our mail was rather casual about it. So sometimes it would take 14 to 20 days to get the mail delivered if he picked it up. But if I took it down to the local post office, it would be 3 to 4 days. In fact, sometimes it would be so fast that it would get to the customers before the money had been approved. So they still got paid, it just kind of mucked up our bookkeeping. So I would buy the stamps, and they said they'd reimburse me, and they always did. So the last one I submitted for reimbursement a week before I left, but I missed the deadline for that week, and then I didn't get it for this week, and they haven't even responded to me yet. But you know what?
Of course, they're not going to respond.
I still have the keys to the front door. If they would like their keys back and not have to pay to have all the keys in the building redone, they might want to send me my money. That's why I didn't give them their keys back.
Because you knew they would short you.
I had a feeling they were going to forget to do this. It's a pain in the butt. It is a royal pain in the butt. Yes, Sav, I get not digging your job. If you have any technical skills that you want to donate to the onerabbit.us, we can have a really international group. So let's talk Picard, because we've only got a few people on here. We've only got 5 people on.
What?
Hey, let everybody know.
Oh,
Sav can bake
Okay.
cookies, yay!
dun, 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 dun. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! If you have not seen the new episode A Picard, you will now until we type in there, put your fingers in ears and go la 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 la, and keep doing that.
Yeah, actually, Susan, I am smart. Which sounds really egotistical when I say it, but you know what? I actually am smart. Not good with some things, as Pi will tell you. As DT will tell you. As a lot of people will tell you, but some things I'm really good with. So, I'm over here. I will jump into the game for just a moment here and get something more attractive than this scene.
Well, I do have to admit you did a good job with your 23.99 uniform. I saw a glimpse of it while you were jumping around.
$23.99 uniform?
The Picard uniform.
I have a
Your
Picard
character had
uniform?
on.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Oh.
That's okay. Why the heck is this giving me... Okay.
You know, Sab, you know what we ought to do one night for your whole slumber party? We ought to go and freaking give Mom a makeover.
Yeah. What not to wear on STO, right?
Right.
Oh, I got 1 minute cooldown. No.
I've seen some of your outfits. There are blind people who go, "Oh my God, what is she wearing?"
Hey.
I just got the dilithium pool here, so let me go and do a VIP claim and see how much I get.
I'm not a miracle worker. Yeah, none of us are, but
Ouch. Ouch.
Burn.
Yeah, really.
Okay, I just
I
got
believe the words for this one are "whoosh." Those are the flames now. That
That's all right. Hey, speaking of miracle workers, we had somebody who got in touch with us on the YouTube channel last night after we posted our stream and gave us some comments. And I wanted to bring it up and we'll talk about it a little bit more in depth. This is from Destroyer333. Hey, Darkmom, started playing Stow again, and I have a Phantom Intel Escort that's dishing out okay damage but taking too much damage. So I asked him, too much damage, meaning his shields are weak, he's too slow to heal, or too slow to deal real damage. The information I've gotten back from Destroyer is a full disruptor build. Currently I have 0 resistance to anything because I needed the engineering consoles to enhance power flow rate and DPS. But that's all I've got so far. So I don't know if we're dealing with Mark 12 gear, if we're dealing with green and purple gear, or if we're dealing with anything epic. So I was thinking...
Part of it's he's in an Intel escort. That's kind of a big problem to begin with.
Well, it's what he's got, so we got to deal with that. But after we're done with our Picard, I'd like to kind of chat about that. Sav says the answer is don't use Intel ships. Okay, well, it's what we've got.
The Intel Cruiser isn't bad, actually, but there are better.
Is anybody watching this on Twitch at the moment? Because it looks kind of choppy to me, and I don't know if it's...
It is a little bit on the choppy side,
okay,
but
I don't know if I can do anything about that.
If you don't have STO on top doing it directly, it's going to be choppy.
STO on top.
Not necessarily. There is a setting for that.
Tell me what the setting is.
Go to your options. Go to advanced, I believe it is.
Okay.
And then on the reduce CPU GPU usage, turn that off.
Hang on a second. Reduce. Oh.
And then limit CPU usage when inactive, turn that one off.
I'm not even seeing that on this.
Which program?
Advanced.
I'm in advanced.
Are you telling?
We're talking in Streamlabs, right?
No.
Oh.
In game.
In game. Sorry, that would be different then. Okay, so options, advanced, and reduce file streaming.
No.
Okay, which one?
You want to go the reduce CPU GPU usage will get rid of the sleeping frame rate.
Okay.
So you want to turn that off. Then you want to limit CPU usage.
I want to turn that off. It was off.
You want both of those off.
What's the other one I wanted off? Say it again.
Limit CPU usage when inactive, which means when you're on a different screen, that's where it gets really choppy.
Okay. Anything else I should be playing with there?
I'm gonna have to experiment that with myself.
Let's see how that works.
That should help a bit.
Okay.
You might want to turn off limiting your frame rate too, but But when you're not in game, you get choppy when you're not in that active window, so you got to turn that off.
Limit frame rate off. Let's give that a shot too. See if that helps at all. I'll beam down to new ROM there.
Isn't it normally 5,000 you get when you claim a VIP claim?
5,000 regular, 10,000 during the event.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, where were we? We were about to talk Picard.
We were about to talk smack about... No, we weren't going to talk smack about Picard. Okay, that looks better. Of course, I'm not doing anything, so that's an issue. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that.
It looks a lot smoother right now. Go type it. Do something and type... Yeah, run a different active window, and you need something where we can watch stuff move around.
Well, I'm fine. That's interesting. That's not working. It should be on top. SDLV's there. Alert box is right there. Why is the sponsor banner not sponsoring? Oh well, we'll deal with that later.
Anyway.
Because it has a sleep. Put it in a sleep.
Well, the first point, I love 7 on there, and we found out where the beacon came from. Apparently she did get one.
Let's go back to the beginning.
Beginning was a flashback now, wasn't it?
It's always a flashback.
You're right. It was many years before flashback.
Long ago. It was the very beginning, the thing on the 8-star planet thing. Oh my god, that was bizarre.
Yes, it was, and I expect bizarre when you can get 8 stars orbiting each other.
Yeah. Well, we won't even deal with orbital mechanics.
That could happen.
That would be an interesting sight to see.
I want that in game. Cryptic, give us 8 stars orbiting each other.
So it's 7,500 dill when you have dill boost enabled. Ooh, that should be fun during a dill event.
Yeah. So when you have the Admiralty done for Klingons.
A long time ago in a galaxy far away. In the near future.
All right. So back to the, what are they called? The Vajash? The something Vash? The Jadvash? Is that it?
The Jadvash.
And the Jadvash. So that was really interesting. A whole bunch of tall, skinny women.
And we learned Commodore Ol is partially Romulan.
Yeah. Well, what a surprise. I think we all guessed that one.
Well, you were saying she was full Romulan. No, she's partially Romulan. She's part Vulcan.
Romulan, Schmomulan. Same. Romulan's fat shame. Thank you, Soph. Yes, they do. Yeah. But that would be an awesome outfit to make for the convention. And doable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And we also learned about the crazy lady.
The red-haired crazy lady or Commander?
The red-haired crazy lady?
Or Narissa, the crazy lady?
They're all crazy. The red-haired XB.
Right, who was, is her name Narissa? Narissa's aunt? Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. More and more connections here. It explains a little bit.
The tapestry gets woven a little more.
Yeah, but I thought that was a really nice explanation of that and some of the interconnections, and you begin to see some of the crazy going on there.
Yeah, you get to see how far down the rabbit hole we're going here.
No kidding. But, that's back now. Good.
Well, you can only go down to the other end on that rabbit hole.
Yeah, but that was super weird. I mean, the First Lady blows her own brains out. The others are smashing out their brains with a rock. Obviously, this was not something that
One claws their own eyes out.
Yeah. Really heavy duty. So what was O doing? I mean, she's bringing some of the few people here who she thinks could be effective in getting this to work, but...
we know, and it's later on it's established, O is actually a Romulan sleeper agent who's part Vulcan. Right. Hence the mind meld working.
Okay. But did you notice how many people were in the circle?
8.
How many of it failed? 6.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we're talking about only a 25% success rate.
At best.
At best, yes. And the thing is, if it's that much of a emotional, psychic, whatever effect, how much of this has warped them? I mean, if it's that intense, they got to be a little loony. Yes, no?
I got a better one here.
Yeah?
Actually, I had a theory, and a friend also had the same theory, but the age of this place and everything else, a big android apocalypse. I'm thinking from the original series, that whole What Little Girls Are Made Of, XO3.
Oh, that's interesting. Hi, Marksman. We're talking Picard, so be prepared that we're going to ruin it if you haven't seen it yet.
It's spoiler time.
It's spoiler time. Go watch it, and you can come back and join us if you have not seen it. And we recommend that you go watch this one.
It's a good one.
It is a good one, yes. Yeah. And Sav keeps going, Picard dies. Picard dies.
Picard does die.
Yes.
A little bit on the inside.
A little bit inside. Okay, so we've now made 75% of the Jad Vash off themselves, and the remaining 25% in Commander O are all not exactly right, shall we say.
Some more than others. I know was kind of leading the whole procession.
Oh, yeah, they're all just loony. They're all freaking loony. I mean, and... So anything they say or any input they have into how things go is really going to be warped.
But then again, you're talking about people who are willingly looking at something that could, and they're pretty sure they know it going in, could drive them to madness and death. So you are really dealing with people who are fanatics.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I took away from it. It's not that they're crazy from that. No, they're fanatics going in, which makes it even worse.
Well, we don't know a lot about them going in. I mean, think about it.
It seems like they're fanatics going in because clearly they were not going in blind to this.
No, and they were already, I would assume, members of the whatever that
The
group is.
Javash.
Yeah, but is that a military group? Is it a, what do we want to call them? Lunatic Fringe. Thank you, Sav. That was a good term.
Lunatic. It's the Lunatic Fringe. It's the Section 31 of the Tal Shiar.
Wow.
If you want to look at it that way, it's kind of. But anyway, yeah, we see an apocalypse in those visions.
Yeah, we see an apocalypse, which we will find out later, happened 200,000 years ago, right?
500, I think, is what they're saying that whole star cluster was put together as.
Oh, okay. I thought they said 200, but okay.
I don't know.
I could be wrong. Anybody else? 200,
I could
500?
be wrong too.
Split the difference, 350?
We'll just say a long time ago.
Long ago. Apparently in a galaxy far, far away.
250, Sav says.
That's, yeah. Okay, we'll go with 250,000. So, not recently. Anybody remember the beginning of the long version of the movie Dune? When the synths basically did the same thing, enslaved the humans and took over. Though the terminology they're using here is they've evolved.
Yep.
Yep. I'm just hearing you and me talk. Is Pi still out there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. You're welcome to jump into it.
We're doing so well, he doesn't have anything to say.
No,
I
because
see.
you're more, you go, like, not because I haven't watched it, but you know more. I'm not. You know more about the show and the old episodes where I don't. I never watched the original series.
Heathen. Well, now that you're confined to your home because your company or country is shut down,
And you have Prime. The original
and you
series
get
is on
Prime.
Prime.
Yeah, it's on Prime.
Yeah, but remember, I don't think we have the original series on our Prime.
Oh.
Remember, I'm in Europe, but I think they're on Netflix here.
I think they are too.
Yeah.
You'd have to check. I mean, I know it's on All Access. I don't know if it's on Prime anymore or not, to be honest.
It goes and comes on Prime, so I'll tell you in a second, though.
I'll have a look later.
No, we have to know now.
Anyway, we move on from this point.
It's included with Prime.
Yeah,
At least in the States.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Here in the States, yeah, maybe.
here in the States, yes. I don't know about there in the not States. It's on
In
Netflix.
the not States. Yeah.
Marksman says it's on Netflix. Okay, so after we have done this really awesome introduction to the beginning of the episode, and it is intense, and we get to learn all kinds of things like O is indeed the Romulan, or at least partially Romulan, like we think she is, and we understand where her relationship with Narissa is, and the red-haired XB also.
Yep.
So
I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but
Auntie. It's Auntie. We'll just call her Auntie.
Yeah, we'll call her Auntie.
Auntie XB.
As much as points go, though, I gotta say one other thing, and this is kind of a whole episode and review type thing.
Yes. Hi, Cardo.
I really like Narissa as a bad guy. She is.
Oh,
just
she
evil
is
and
ruthless.
She is ruthless and evil.
Holy moly! And
you want a bad guy to be.
yeah, but we'll get into that in another moment. I mean, obviously, she killed Hugh. Jeez, man. Oh man, did anybody read any of what's his name? Jonathan Del Arco's comments about it?
Hugh being killed?
Yeah. If you get a chance, go read some of the things he was saying about it. It's really insightful into his role as the actor in that. Hold on, Cardo. This is a spoilers episode. This is spoilers.
Cardo, we have spoiler alert literally in the title.
Now you see the title. Yeah. No, we're going to do spoilers on this for people who've seen it. If you haven't watched it, you definitely want to watch it. It's quite good. It's really good.
And we haven't gone far into it, so
and we won't. And he just tuned in, so you haven't heard anything bad. And what you heard was about last week, but it's really well done. Even what we were talking about is stunningly good.
Mm-hmm.
So go watch it.
I haven't even. I'm going to binge watch it later. It's like,
Well, yeah, no, there's nothing. There's nothing wrong with binge watching it, because I had to do that for Discovery, because if you're going to do that to yourself, do it all in one sitting. So it's done. It's just done, and you don't have to deal with it.
I kind of learned when I was watching Dark Matter, when it was on wherever I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd watch it like 2 episodes at a time because everything kind of fit into little arcs when you did that. I really started enjoying it. So it was like, instead of a bunch of 1 hour stuff, it was like little mini movies.
Well, I kind of get that feeling with Picard, actually, that it's a bunch of
Picard is a bunch of mini movies because, again, the episodes.
That reminds me of
the first 3 are all being directed by. Go ahead.
That reminds me of the BBC Sherlock.
Yeah, you can do the BBC Sherlock in little bits and pieces too.
Yeah, they're. But yeah, I mean, there's only 3 episodes, and each one's an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
They're like each one's practically a movie in of itself.
It is, and they're well crafted that way.
And Picard, the 2 episode arcs, except for the premiere, which was 3, are all being directed by a single. Each episode, 2 episode arc is a single director.
Yeah,
so
which gives you some continuity.
But it makes it kind of a little mini movie when you think about it that way too.
So after we've seen the beginning of the episode where we discover what has affected all of these people, what's affected Narissa and O in Anti-XB, we then discover that Anti-XB, who is a Borg, who was a member of the Tal Shiar, who was on a ship that was assimilated by the Borg,
Narissa's auntie.
Is Narissa's auntie. And this is one of the few scenes where...
Go ahead.
I think it's kind of a touching scene, because there's obviously something in Narissa here that we haven't seen in her character. There's some level of compassion. She tries to play it off as, well, I would have survived that. I would have been tougher if it had been me.
I would have been a better Borg than you.
Right, yeah. And at the same time, you come right back to her face, and she is genuinely hurting for this person.
More care for her than for her own brother.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to wonder how much... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just now finished the Cold War on my Jem'Hadar.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Golf clap.
Yeah, golf clap. Yeah. Yeah, it's that serious, isn't it?
Yeah, Cardo, we're always recruiting. You're always welcome to join us. We try to be fun. But anyway,
we're calling enslavement recruiting now.
But we're back on the Borg cube with Narissa, with her auntie, and she's very aware that Elnor is still on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of cool.
That freak,
yeah, that was what she calls him. So I don't know how much of this is stunt double, but dang, those are some nice moves that he is throwing. There's some good kicks, a couple of decent throws, but just as he's about to be defeated, dun dun dun, what happens?
Jerry Ryan
comes to the rescue. Oh yeah.
I take it she's pretty good in this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Sav, are you on the fleet side at the moment, or would you like me to send Cardo an invite, or would somebody else like to send Cardo an invite? He's posted his name in chat.
I'll send the invite.
Okay, thank you. Cardo, you're going to get an invite from DT, and then we'll send you an invite to our fleet chat. Okay, thanks, Sav. Let me do that.
Or did Sav already got it?
No, Sav's on KDF side. Oh. I was just thanking her for letting us know. All right, let me jump into the game for a moment.
Invite has been sent.
Okay, I'm going to go into our chat here for a moment. Channels. Yeah, I'm in way too many chat channels. Admin. Oops, wrong group. Let's put you there.
And he's joined. Welcome to the fleet, Cardo. Now, What we need you to do is we need you to get on this wheel and start turning it. Conan reference, if anybody gets that one.
I got the reference. Okay, Cardo, I've sent you an invitation to the Strike Group chat. So if you go into /channel join channel?
Yeah.
No, channel join. Channel join, and then type in Strike Group, 2 words. You will be on our group chat, and that is for both of our, actually all of our fleets, because we all talk together.
Yep,
Makes life
it's
so
for
much
the
better.
entire. It's for the Klingon fleet, the Fed fleet, the whole Armada fleets. Because we're just evil bastards.
And that will get you into us. Let me just make sure that you're in there. Everybody's online. Refresh. There you are. You have been invited, Cardo, so please jump into our chat. You're never obliged to jump into anything. But you're always welcome when we do missions. Obviously, we do
Yeah,
missions.
you don't have to jump in. You don't have to jump into anything except for the deep end, right?
Yeah, just that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All your fleet marts now belong to us.
Yeah. So anyway, 7 of 9, Enika comes to the rescue of Elnor. Brilliantly, too. Guns
Yep.
blazing, all right, all that good
Where's
stuff.
Hugh? It was Hugh's. It was Hugh's thing that he picked up. So
Yeah,
it was going on last week. We
Yeah.
didn't know where we got in.
Yeah. That was, you can see that look on her face of where's Hugh and nothing from Elnor. It's like she can't tell him. He can't tell her.
She's totally Mama Bear in here again.
Oh, yeah. But she's put her emotions on the side for the moment. She kind of has to.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Well, she did kind of annihilate the last thing that messed with Mama Bear.
Yeah, but then he gives her that big hug. And she's just, like you said, the mama bear, the big hug, the tenderness. It's so sweet. That's the intro to the episode for the week, too.
I know.
That's such a great intro.
I'm going to make another
Tons
observation.
of
I think apparently between her first appearance and this one, they kind of dialed the eyepiece in a little bit more. I think it looks a little better now.
I think so, too.
Oh, they changed 709's eyepiece?
A little bit, yeah. It looks a little bit more
They
tweaked up.
they cleaned it up a little bit, so I think.
Oh, so
Yeah,
they gave
because-
it a polish.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the
Yeah, I mean,
first episode.
it's not metallically shiny still, but it just kind of looks a little cleaner.
Yeah, because when we first saw her, it looked like really rubbery and badly made.
Yeah, this one's definitely better. At least it looks better.
And it could be just how it was filmed and everything else, but we don't know. But
Well, technology has gone up in all areas since then.
yeah,
Since
they
2
get
episodes
on
ago?
board. No, it'd be
Well,
like
I mean,
the-
since Voyager.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
and it was an all new eyepiece. Apparently, for the Jerry Ryan, she said it was a lot more comfortable to have on.
Ah,
And if you're filming 8 hours and you got this thing glued to your face, it's kind of
yeah, that would make a big difference.
right. And even if you look between seasons, if you really start looking, you see differences in costuming and things like that. So it's kind of one of these things where I think it's just they got everything done, and then by her next appearance, they knew where they were going, and they just kind of dialed things in a little better. You know?
Less rubbery, as
Yeah.
Soph says, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Or part
we've
of it could
gone
be the
through
lighting,
what I'm
too, but we don't know.
I'm starting to love the opening sequence now. It just feels
Oh,
good.
the music it fits more and more with this, and
Mm-hmm. Well, we get past the credits, and we are now on the ship, the La Serena.
La Serena,
La Serena.
where Rios goes, fuck it.
What?
That's effectively a
WTF.
point.
Yeah. And just does double takes on seeing Soji, and all of us who are in the know immediately realize she is not one of a pair of twins. She is one of possibly many, and he's run into her before, and it's totally freaking him.
Actually, I'm going to point out two things here.
Mm-hmm.
I think what Rios ran into would be effectively the lore set to Soji.
You say that again?
It's going to be one of the earlier models that became Soji, like lore was data and all, lore to data and all that. Okay. I think they're made in twos, but I think that what Rios ran into was a different pair. An older pair because Soji and What's-Her-Face were about 3 years old.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but it's obvious everything's coming from the same mold, so maybe they're in pairs, but we don't know. Maybe they were created in quantity and sent off in pairs.
Well, I think Maddox's point, which would still mean they're made in pairs, but they're paired.
That could be, yes.
They're binars. That's it. They're freaking binars.
But it's totally freaking out Rios.
Yes, and Rios withdraws completely.
Done. Totally done with this. I am done, and done. I'll get you where you need to go, and I'm done. Done.
Get off my ship.
Mm-hmm. Which is freaking out Soji a bit because,
she doesn't know what happened.
Yeah, I mean, Picard's told her, you're going to be safe. We're going to get you to your home world, and all of a sudden, maybe not. We don't know.
And then even Picard goes, first we got to go to the starbase, and she's like, what? You said we're going to my home world.
You've got to trust me. Well,
he doesn't ask for much.
Yeah. You have no idea who I am. I've taken you to a strange planet where they've served you bunny corn pizza, and now I want you to trust me.
Bunny corn pizza, that sounds pretty good.
Bunny corn pizza, yeah.
Papa Rikers.
Yes, exactly. Nepenthian style bunny corn pizza. And, of course, Raffi is totally in Picard's face about bringing on people who are...
That would be because the last person Picard brought on
turned out to be a murderer. Surprise.
Turned out to be a murderer and a spy.
And a spy. Well, yeah. But yeah.
Because apparently somebody had analyzed the gunk she puked up before she went into her coma.
Yeah. Well, they did say it had neurological effects, so it clearly does.
Yeah. But we learned she's been a bad cyberneticist.
Naughty.
And we do get a recap of what happened last week to Picard, basically about how we had somebody chasing us, and she goes poisons it, then she goes disabling his tracker, and they stop chasing us. How convenient!
Yes, well, yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, that's really her tone. That's literally her tone about it. It's like, how convenient.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think, though, in this particular episode, Raffi gets a little one note with her acting, which usually is because
Raffi's a little one-notish as a character to a degree.
And she always has the same mannerism. She turns those shoulders, puts her hands on her hips, and looks very accusingly at everybody.
Mm-hmm. Raffi has some deep-seated trust issues.
Yeah, that's her character, part and parcel of her character.
But I do have to say, though she was one note, we actually do, and I'm going to be bouncing a little bit around this stuff, but we actually do see later on that she was clearly security and investigations, and she was clearly good at her job.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons you tend to find these one-notey people are in those roles.
Yeah.
Hard to let go of things, and Worf being a great example of that. Then we get to what I think is my favorite scene in the whole thing, which is it Admiral Clancy?
Yeah.
Tamita Tamlin. What is her name?
No, Tamita Tamlin was Commodore Roll, I believe.
Oh, no, I thought it was Clancy.
I'm pretty sure Clancy was a different Let me double check, but to me,
Trying to look.
go take a look, because I think.
Come on. Give me this one. Oh, that's interesting. There's a previous Clancy, but let's see if this is the same one.
And Magnuson.
Ann Magnuson? Seriously?
Admiral, yep.
Really? That's Ann Magnuson. Huh. That's impressive. Doesn't look like Ann Magnuson.
Admiral Christine Clancy and Magnuson.
Wow.
And Tamlin Tamita is Commodore O.
Okay, well, I stand corrected on that one then. But anyway, so here's Picard having this long convo with Clancy, begging, pleading, cajoling, threatening.
Ships.
Give me ships, give me support.
I was right.
I was right. And, if you don't give me what I want, you are just a waste of space. And her response is,
fuck off.
Shut the fuck up. It's just wonderful.
It is, and especially given how and I hate to say it, but Picard, one of his strengths is he's a very preachy person.
Yes, he is.
But boy, at the same time, in some cases, as we've learned a few times over, it's also his great weakness. And there, it's his weakness.
Yeah. Yep. I just love his expression, though, when she tells him to shut up, and he's like, what?
I'm already sending ships out.
And then there's that momentary pause as she fades away. Yeah, he doesn't know when to shut up. And he's like, yeah, I got my way. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you got your way, but they were going to do it anyway, so yeah.
They kind of dressed you down pretty hard for that one.
Okay, there is a little brilliant... Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
I can hear you.
I wasn't sure I was coming through.
Can you hear me now?
Sorry. I can.
So I noticed one thing in the scene, which had to be the director. I hope it's the director and it wasn't just coincidental. The height between Picard and Clancy, he's clearly like 6 or 7 inches higher than she is, to establish who's in charge of this thing. And so when she tells him to shut up, he physically shifts back and all of a sudden, he's lost that height advantage. It's just cute. Sorry.
Are we talking about the Admiral scene?
Yeah, we're talking about the Admiral scene. Gravimetric distortion based upon being near the Borg hub. Possibly. Okay, so post that.
I think she turned up the hologram when she was dressing him down. Since you can manipulate that to appear taller.
Yes, you can. So she shrunk him down. Now we get into the whole Raffi and the EM whatevers.
All of Rios's holographic pieces.
Right. I love... This is all the same guy playing it, right?
Right, it's all the same actor.
Great job. Really great job. A little bit of...
He's Portuguese.
Caricature, but boy, is that good.
Of course some of it's caricature, and it's all him doing it.
Yeah, it's really nice. Hi there, sweetie. But I love the personalities are distinct and different, and the mannerisms are different, and it really shows up when they have the one scene where all 5 of them are.
Now you want to know the real fun point about Santiago Cabrera, who does play Rios.
Mm-hmm.
He was from Venezuela.
Is he really?
Yes.
Don't we have a fleet mate from Venezuela? We do. We do have a fleet mate.
But I mean, when you think about that, he was born in Venezuela. And I don't know what his whole full bio is, but it's sort of like when you realize that, and you realize every single person has different accents, different characteristics. It's like there's only one person I see does stuff like that. And he only does about once a year, and it's like in Flash, and it's Tom Cavanaugh who just and that Orphan Black point too, where just totally different personas on every iteration of them, which that's freaking impressive. This is why I need Pimp Rios for a freaking costume that we just freaking kill.
You could get one different Rio costume for every day of the convention.
Exactly.
Yes, you just have to change your hair a little bit and a couple
Yeah,
outfits.
slick it back, curl it, or
So we also discover at this point the whole 8 planets, or sorry, the 8 stars thing, which is interesting because what did they call it? The something of 8?
The Octonary.
But there's another name for what the gathering of 8 or something like that. The assembly of
Something
8,
like that.
something like that. Yeah.
Assembly of Eight or something. But it ties all to this, and it's sort of. But we learned that, dun dun dun, quite obviously, that the odds of it being a natural formation, like one of my friends, it could have been a natural formation. It's like, dude, that'd be like freaking hitting Powerball, hitting Lotto, getting hit by lightning, getting struck by a truck, getting a meteor hitting on you in the same day, and that would still be better odds.
Yes, of course the engineer was Scottish. I thought that was
Of course,
a
it
natural.
was. And he was freaking heavy Scottish.
Yeah, way over the top. But from here we get back to the board.
We thought James Doohan was bad. This
This is
Scotty's looking down from the heavens, going, "Ah, laddie, that's how you do it."
And we go back to the Borg cube because we still have Elnor there.
Right.
Elnor is still stuck there, even though Seven. See, Sav, I'm comparing you with Seven. Seven's come to his rescue and taking him off to the Queen's chamber. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
And she's basically going to hijack the cube, if I understand it.
Which was what he wanted to do to begin with.
Yeah. And they come up with the idea of, can they re-assimilate all the Borg? I mean, they can reactivate the cube, but that doesn't help for beings.
They can reactivate the drones, but without direction, because the cube was cut off, they would be useless.
Right. And of course, Seven is reluctant to do this because it is re-enslaving them to what they were before, and she knows what that is.
And plus, her own personal point, it's so addicting.
Sav wants to know who's sharpening knives.
That was me.
It's Frost.
Sorry.
And Krastic says 7 hotwired a Borg cube, which was amazing. Yes, it was. Yep. That is an awesome part of the episode. But we begin to also see just how relentless and evil Narissa is.
Yeah. The Borg are reactivating. Space them.
Well, she hasn't done that yet, but she's just going to space them anyway before they've reactivated. Before they can be reactivated. Just get rid of them. Going to shoot them all?
Kill them all.
Mm-hmm. I love the expression on the Romulan who's with her, obviously younger guy, takes his weapon away and just
starts murdering.
Yeah.
Starts murdering people. And he's like, he's going, what the hell?
I look at that and he's clearly not happy, clearly upset, clearly has some standards, and she's violating them, but it's a senior officer. And Tal Shiar, too, probably. Is she officially Tal Shiar in this?
Technically, yeah. I mean, they're kind of she's technically Tal Shiar. She's actually Jacques Valache, but that's...
Okay, but he's aware that she's Shiar. But as soon as Seven reactivates the cube, all of a sudden we've got what are, in my opinion, worker bees working on the exterior, rebuilding the ship, which is way cool.
Yeah, and it kind of answers points. I mean, we had visuals of the cubes reknitting themselves before, but let's kind of get better effects these days and everything else. I like the way they're doing this better.
Yeah, it's really cool. You can see what's going on. Like I said, it's just assimilated worker bees, in my opinion. Or work bees.
Dot drones, like we just got in game.
Yeah, exactly. Which brings us back to a long scene between Soji and Picard over what looks like to be scrambled eggs or something. I have no idea what they're eating.
Yeah,
and
scrambled eggs.
You know, I like the scene to some extent, but in some ways I don't, because there's some of the Picard that we knew as a captain isn't here. This is a compassionate person. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it seems, hopefully not Riker's scrambled eggs. But the strength of character we saw as a captain is a little lost in this because he's obviously got a different mission. And it seems awkward. Maybe it's supposed to seem awkward. As somebody just said, he's not good with kids.
It is awkward. We're kind of in that whole wheelhouse at this point of, oh, you've rescued her, what's next?
Yeah. But I do like the fact that they get to discussing Data and the relationship, and, Picard's having a really tough time admitting that he loved Data and Data loved him. Not in a slash-fic way, I'm sure. Even if he was fully functional.
He versed in multiple techniques.
Yes. But
Really?
it's really interesting.
Really.
You do see... Go ahead.
You have to deal with the bad humor here, too, or else...
Yes, definitely bad humor.
But anyway, she kind of went to the point and pointed it out to what he never could really say.
Yeah, and then he admits, he's crap with emotions, and so is Data. So they had that in common, which is really true and was part of his character back in TNG.
Yeah.
That said, though, that scene runs a little long, but I've noticed that with this entire episode. The scenes are longer, they're more involved, they've got more detail.
Yeah, if we were dealing with a 1 hour episode, they would have cut a lot of time out of that, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, you couldn't have done any of this in a 1 hour episode. Probably couldn't have done all of this in a movie. But here we've got a 10 or 11 hour movie that's going to be happening, which is pretty cool.
It would really depend on the movie and everything else, too, There's movies where they can deal more with this, but no.
Yeah, but you still have to...
Not for a lot of the stuff that we've had in the past 20 years. They wouldn't have done this.
Yeah, and this length of scene continues on with the Raffi and all the holograms, which is, again, kind of long. She goes to visit a number of them, talks with them, trying to figure out what's going on with Rios.
And to piece other things together, she goes try to visit Rios. Rios is still in the hole. Go away.
Okay, I'll go away. But I'm not going to like it.
Which we do see Rios flash a little. We see little bits and pieces of Rios's point. We knew he had some history, but we find out little bits here. Like, for example, the whole events that brought him to point happened. Well, we learned later our exact time date, but we learned it happened somewhat of a while back, because he had a uniform like Raffi and Picard from their flashback when Picard resigned his commission. We do have a silhouette of the ship, which a lot of people say looks a lot like a Luna class.
Yeah, somebody said that also, not in this chapter, in something else.
Yeah.
But we get to see a picture of a younger Rios, with his captain.
Yep.
And I don't know about you guys, but I immediately realized that he viewed that person as a father. But...
Yep.
Well, he called him his father.
He does, but not quite yet, not till later. But I think he had mentioned...
We're not to that point yet.
Yeah. He had mentioned to Sav... Or to Sav. I keep calling Seven Sav. And in this case, it's Raffi, that he had seen his captain kill himself right in front of him. And that kind of freaked out Raffi. But there's a lot going on there. So back to the Borg cube, and we've got Elnor and Seven. See, I didn't call her Sav this time, Sav. Deciding to, yes it is, because I love you, to hijack the ship and possibly reactivate the Borg. But she knows what that means. She's going to have to go and become, in essence, the Borg queen, if just for those guys.
Yep.
And
little micro queen.
Yeah, micro queen. And Elnor's arguing for yes, but then we can retake the cube, and then you can free them when all of this is done.
And Seven's point to give what They're actually asking, I may not want to.
Yeah. It was a pretty good scene.
Which kind of tells you something. And we've seen it before. You're never really fully ever removed from the collective. It's always a part of you.
Exactly. Of course, then we have a long scene with Picard and what's her name, Agnes.
Mm-hmm. Which you're turning yourself in.
Yeah, you're a murderer. You're turning yourself in. No request for explanations. Just a this is what's going to happen.
Yep.
She's clearly pissed. She's clearly stressed out.
She's vulnerable and stressed. He's pissed. Yep.
And she can't tell him what she saw. I mean, can't, not won't. Can't tell him.
She literally can't. Yeah.
It's the Ibn Majid is the name of the ship. Ibn Majid.
Yep. Yeah, which we know from before.
Well, you guys are better at that detail stuff than I am. Sav's posted a link in chat if anybody wants to see it.
From Memory Alpha, yeah. And what little we know, I mean, the silhouette's a lot like Luna. It looks a little different. It's got some features on there, but so they're listing it, at least on Memory Alpha, as its own class at the moment. It kind of looks a lot like the Emmett Till they designed for the DS9, what we left behind documentary.
Okay. So now we're getting to the point in this episode where everything finally starts to come together.
Mm-hmm.
Rios is talking with Raffi and reveals that Soji is a duplicate of somebody he had met named Jana.
Mm-hmm.
And that they were a first contact situation. The Ibn Majid had encountered the ship, sent the information on to Starfleet, went ahead and did the first contact, and after a few hours, the captain killed them both. Killed the two people who were on the ship. On orders from Starfleet. And then kills himself.
Mm-hmm. Because he can't live with what he did.
Yeah.
Especially after Rios went and confronted him about it.
Mm-hmm. So, excuse me. So that's part one of everything starting to come together. He realizes that they were synths and understands that Starfleet ordered them to kill the synths. This is post-Mars though, right?
Yep.
It's in 2390.
Okay.
It was not, yeah, Mars was 15 years ago.
14 years before current, and current is 2399.
Yeah, and this was about 2390 from what they were saying. So,
according to, I'm looking at the fandom site right now.
Years ago.
Uh-huh.
Real said 9 years ago, if I recall.
I'm looking at the fandom site where people get way too over this. But so if it's 2399 when this whole thing is going on, so 14 years ago would have been 2385.
Okay.
And this incident that we're talking about here happened in 2390, so 5 years after Mars.
Right.
Okay.
After synths were banned.
Yeah, I'm looking here at this. Alonzo Vandermeer died in 2390, so that would have been when that all happened, obviously.
Yep. And Rios fell apart soon after.
Yeah.
And we do know as the pieces get together, we know the person who gave the order for this turned out to be Commodore O.
And it's the same person. Yeah, same person who kind of mind raped Agnes.
Mm-hmm. And put it in there. You cannot speak about this.
Yeah.
Well, the question is did she mind rape the Tashiar agent as well? And she was there, but she was more concerned for her aunt than she was in stopping anything. And she just abandoned her aunt and just decided she was going to do what the Commodore was going to say. At least that's the impression I got.
I don't know that she abandoned her aunt, but definitely it wasn't the priority. Clearly. I mean, her priority is doing her mission over everything else.
He was executive officer. That was Rios's rank.
Okay.
Right. Which would make him a commander,
He
basically.
was a commander. Well, no, I'm sorry. He would be an executive officer, at least in the Navy, has all the rights and privileges of a captain,
Right.
and they do count as a captain unless the captain is in the room. So his rank would have been captain. At least that's the way it works in the actual Navy today.
In Star Trek, we generally see a captain.
We usually have the exec as being a commander versus being a captain.
Yeah.
But, that's just Star Trek.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit easier for them to deal with it and not try and explain the details too much. So back on the Borg cube, we have Narissa just going and shooting the crap out of all the Borgs. And out of it looks like all the...
and clearly enjoying it.
Yeah. This is just brutal. No...
I mean, she sees the Borg as synthetic life forms anyway, so, I mean, I can understand why she would want to get away with that.
Yeah, but she blatantly doesn't care. She just shoots anyone who's in her way in that scene. You don't get a good, clear image. Are these ex-Borg? Are these people who are researchers from the Starfleet? Who knows who they are? She's just shooting them all. She wants to...
But, I mean, that being considered, she is Tal Shiar, and every instance we've seen of Tal Shiar, they don't see people as worth preserving.
No, not at all.
Instance, Picard's Guardians.
Well, a valid point. They are... Let's consider them to be ex-Tal Shiar.
Yeah. But still, you said everything we've seen of Tal Shiar.
Well, they're ex-Tal Shiar. But yeah, but I think it's partially whatever the heck that thing was has definitely stripped her of any emotion when it comes to achieving her goal. She doesn't care. She's just going to kill
I don't
him.
know if it stripped the emotion or it just wasn't there to begin with.
That could be. Yeah, there's that one scene where the gun misfires, and she just drops and grabs the next one. And just shoots the guy.
She just grabs that second gun she had.
And you can see he's devastated by this. This is as damaging to him as anything else. Back to Elnor and Seven trying to activate the cube as they realize that what's-her-name is killing everything. And Seven becomes temporary Borg Queen. Or Borg Mini Queen. Yay! It's an awesome scene. My tunes have butts.
Yeah, don't we need eyes like that for some of our liberated Borg characters?
There, are we happier, Sav? Now we can see the front of my tunes. But yeah, Seven as Borg Queen, I think, has a story potential that is awesome. And she's activating them, to which Narissa basically just spaces the lot.
Mm-hmm. Not worth the trouble.
Yeah. But yeah. I think that may be the reason that Seven is able to disconnect, is because all of the people that were part of it are now gone. So the hold is much more tenuous than it was. And I wonder if they hadn't been spaced, if she would have stuck it out as being a Borg Queen.
I think part of it was also Elnor there.
Could be, but you don't know. Very interesting. Yes, I did like the part where he goes, "You're going to assimilate me now?" And
what about her answer?
Annika
has
things to do, yes. Yes, definitely dissociating herself from her other human parts.
Yeah.
And we have everything come together now for the crew of the La Serena as Soji and Agnes and Rios and Rafi.
We did miss Soji effortlessly.
Effortlessly, what?
She tried to hijack his ship.
Oh, no, we're still before that. We'll get to hijacking the ship after they have their little confab.
Yes, patience.
Yes, this is still their ready room thing first. Remember, they're going to chat about it. And everybody's going to decide what they're going to do for Soji, what they're going to do for her, and she's not really a part of the decision-making process. Which I thought was interesting. And she gets, perhaps rightfully, pissed. And it's a long scene. It runs out of like 3 or 4 minutes. And she storms off and takes over the freaking ship. What did Rio say? It took her 5 minutes to take over the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously didn't know that there were some safeties that he installed.
Yeah. Probably when he accidentally had set all the holograms on. Yes, and I will put that in quotes because self-scanned all the holograms to use his face.
But I do like some of the heads-up displays that they're using. I like the effects. I'd like to have that for playing my game. But he does manage to override her controls. But they agree to go off using a Borg transwarp hub? Transwarp
Yep.
conduit?
Conduit, yeah.
Conduit. Which is fun. Nice to have that come back in. However, it's time for Narissa, well, at least for the Romulans, to take the fleet that has come to the cube and go after the synth homeworld.
And that's when 7 actually disconnected, but yeah.
Yeah. But more than that, that's when the Borg go after Narissa.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. The question is, when they all dogpile on her at the end, you see a flash of green.
Transporter.
Okay, that's what I thought too.
You heard the transport sound too.
I didn't, but that's because I don't
did,
always
but,
hear
yeah.
things. Okay. It's too bad. I mean, little Borg Vengeance would have been cool. Borg Vengeance is sweet. And I did like seeing Picard at the captain's seat trying to take over.
And I
Yep.
love his... I don't know how to work the controls.
But wouldn't it have been great to have him take over the ship and pilot it? To be the captain once again? That would have been cool.
But it's like, I don't know how to work this.
I know. But it would have been awesome.
Why can't I do that?
I did like that we brought in some of his history into it too, with Marta Batanides, having been Vandermeer's senior at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Does everybody remember Marta? Or am I the only one?
There have been a few Martas.
No, Marta from his academy days. She was in one episode. I think it was Tapestry.
Yep.
Yeah. But other than that, there's a couple of references to her in some of the fanfic and profic books. But we finally have a nice convo between Rios and Picard, which is more just backfill, building characters, building story. And then they decide to let, what's her name? Soji take over the ship and fly them into the conduit.
Yeah. It does bring up something funny that Santiago Cabrera actually said that there were times when when they were doing takes and stuff where they would both go racing for the captain's chair.
That's funny.
Okay, I had left for a moment. Did I miss anything important within like the last 5 minutes?
No, mostly talking about
we're at the end of the episode now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
talking about some of the structure of the scenes. But as they are leaving the Borg warp conduit or entering it,
Leaving.
it's
Their tail is not as gone as they thought.
yeah. What's his name? Narek.
Mm-hmm.
Narek is following them still. And the upcoming episode looks interesting. Yeah, I think
It's episode
maybe.
9. It's gonna be the big fight before the finale. So yeah.
Wow, they haven't gotten all the way done to finale. We definitely have to have season 2 because there's no way they can conclude this in 2 episodes. I don't know that they can conclude it in 3. There's a lot of loose ends here. But it was a good episode, I thought. I agree with Sava. It's fantastic. I don't know if masterpiece might be a little overstatement.
You actually missed one part though. They figured out all the bonus of the Vashjala and the whole slaughter thing that Picard says it's not going to happen. We have something that they don't. We have hope.
Yeah. And it does go back
Now,
to...
and that right there is Picard. That's what ties it all together.
It's also TNG, and it's a nice
Uh,
look back at it.
uh,
You know, after Discovery, which seemed to be very dark and mechanistic, it's nice to get back to some of the old TNG and old TOS mantras. Even if it wasn't as incorporated as it was in TNG, where it wasn't stated as much as it was just there. You know, we don't need it
I
pointed out. We
know
can just have it.
there's a whole billion ton of episodes where they were talking about hope and everything else. So
That's true, but it was also just there sometimes. Just like in original series, a lot of things were just there. You didn't point out that you had a
Wait,
black woman on the
wait,
bridge.
yeah, well, that's something. That's something. That's a look at society in the future, and
Yeah.
this is
They're just things that are there.
This is more of a look at as how they should try to view themselves as a species.
Right. No doubt. No doubt. So anyway, that's it for this week's episode. We will have next week's spoiler review next Friday, which will be March the 20th. So if you get a chance to watch it before then, actually between next Wednesday night, or for you European-y type folks, next Thursday night, join us on Friday for that. And I think for the moment, let's go kill some stuff.
All right.
Okay.
Because, I mean, that's what it's all about, killing things.
You got easy endeavors today, huh?
Oh god, I have all ship endeavors.
Yeah, but 10 Undine ships, 5 Terran ships, and 5 Herald ships.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got to do my Discovery patrols.
I have to do Discovery
gotta-
patrols, too.
I've got to destroy destructible torpedoes,
That would be Crystal
kill
Catastrophe.
Both ground, and then Hill Health ground, which I'm on Nukura right now, doing the Hill Health ground right
Full
now.
health ground works really well. Hey, why don't we decide what we're going to do? I will be back in 2 minutes, all right?
All right, you got 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Dun, 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 dun. Sorry. Anyway, I need to grind some more spore canisters and marks for Discovery.
I'll just run a 30-second break. Or ad.
Yeah.
As we get very quiet. Very quiet. Be very quiet.
Why is it very quiet?
Yes, nobody's speaking!
Oh,
So did I miss anything?
No, everybody got suddenly really quiet, and it was just really awkward and annoying.
I was reading.
hey, we need an occasional awkward
Wait,
silence,
you can read?
silence from time to time.
You know what? You're just not very helpful today. There it is. Okay.
The man wrote a book. I'm pretty sure he can read.
Yes, you did.
Well, that doesn't actually mean very much. I mean, have you seen all the books out there?
No, I got your book, but I haven't read it yet.
Read it. It's good.
Well, thank you for getting
I
it.
need to read it.
You do. I really like it. I've given away a couple of copies. I have to get another one because I keep giving them away. I have 2 more people who need to read it, too. You know, if I was smart, I'd just send it directly to them rather than getting it and handing them out.
Or if you have a large group of people that you want to give them to, you can let me know. I can get you some author's copies that are signed and everything, and just send it that way.
Ooh, that would be awesome. Yeah, I actually would like that.
But I need like names, addresses, that kind of a thing.
I can do that.
And I also need somebody to pay for all the copies. I
That
mean,
I
they're a
would
lot
do.
cheaper than the normal ones.
Yeah. Kind of hard to make money off of it when there's no one paying for it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm more than happy to do, whatever.
Well, I have to get some usable capital, so gotta do a little work here first.
Hey, you didn't, after you're done with the stream tonight, can you and I talk?
Briefly, yeah. Or it depends on what time we get done here.
Yeah.
Because I have early
So
morning
I
tomorrow.
have to do disco patrols. I have to do a single board TFO. I have to destroy Zenkethi ships and then Zenkethi ground.
Man,
I'm thinking
we got
about
a lot,
rerolling.
got a lot of work to do. How about we all do the complete the discovery patrols first? Everybody good with
Yeah.
that one?
Sure. I am almost done with this Hill Health ground.
Okay, and Sav needs to do Battle of the Binary Stars Advanced as well. So we got a couple
I don't
things
know if
going on here.
I think that's still bugged because I don't know that you're going to get anything at the end of that, and I haven't yet. I've done it.
I didn't realize there was.
There isn't an
I didn't-
advanced. Hey, Sav, there isn't an
Yeah,
advanced
I
on
was going to
DFT.
say I didn't think there was an advanced.
Yeah, there
There
is.
is
There's
an
an advanced on
There
binary
is?
stars. You just gotta go on the regular queue for it,
Oh.
but you
Yeah.
don't get it. But while the event's going, you can't get any freaking cylinders for it, what makes it useless.
Hey, Sav, you want to do
Okay,
advanced
great.
when you're not getting the prizes for it? I mean, we can, but it seems silly.
Okay. In the Klingon, I'm just reading off what it says in fandom again.
Okay.
In the Klingon Empire, the executive officer does hold the same rank as the captain.
Okay, what about Federation, though?
That much. I mean, it says that the XO is second in command just below the captain, and his responsibility is to always stay with the ship.
Interesting.
Again, this is according to fandom, so I don't know how valid that is, but
Doesn't seem to work that way because the first officer's responsibility is to basically make sure the captain's orders get done and make sure the captain doesn't go into any danger.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's actually the. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying according to what this thing says. But yeah.
Okay, 3 discovery patrols. Kern, Imaga, Donatu, Briarpatch, and Kinger systems. So these are just off the patrols, correct?
Do we have to be part of a team in order to join the same patrol?
To join the same
Yes.
instance, yes, you do.
Okay, so X up anybody that wants to run.
I got Sav joining. Got room for 3 more. Got Melly Marty. And I got
also.
DT. Let's see who joins up here.
Okay, as I said, I am almost done with this Hill Health, and if no one gets it before me, then I'll take it.
Okay, I got 4 now with Frost on that, but we'll run another thing. We can do it.
Okay.
I
again.
also X'd, but yeah, okay.
Well,
Never
that-
mind.
I'm sorry.
We can run more than one team.
Yeah, we can run
Yeah,
more than
yeah.
one team. You know. So we're gonna run this, folks. We have to agree on what one we're
18.
gonna run.
1,800. Why did they pick so high? 1,800 or 18,000? I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Is everybody good if we start with 9th rule?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Finally.
Everybody has to launch.
Give me just a moment, please. Where is it? There it is.
Okay, everyone ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
So,
Fed
which
or
one are we doing
Klingon?
again?
We're gonna do 9th rule.
On
Okay.
Fed?
Yes, I'm fed. Your team. So you're gonna do
3, 2.
Hang on, I gotta do it.
Oh, it
We're in
says
chat,
Hot
too.
Sovereign has patrol on cooldown though,
Oh, Sav has
and
patrol on cooldown.
Darkthorn has it on cooldown as well.
But maybe she warped in, and if she warps in, it will say it's on cooldown.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe she
I
already
just
warped
in. She's warped in too.
Okay.
Okay, so
Did
I'm
they-
in there.
Okay.
So just waiting on everybody else.
Fine. I'll be the last one in.
Fine,
See if I
fine.
can.
We know you do.
Of course I do.
Say when.
Go in.
Oh, my mom just jumped forward, so I guess wins now.
I figured you guys had already started without me. Besides, I guarantee with a team of 5, it's going to give us plenty of targets.
So when are the bad guys showing up?
Well,
All right, I'm on my
That's the
Fed.
thing.
I'm on my Fed character now. So
You're gonna have to wait for the next one because we're.
yeah. That's quite all right.
we
Quite
got
all right.
plenty of
Well,
time.
I can take I can take Jake for a run.
Why don't you do that?
You guys go do your ninth roll. We'll finish.
Or whatever.
Okay. All right.
So which one do you want to take? Ninth rule?
Ninth rule sounds good to me. Hold on.
Dude, stop with the goddamn talking.
Just double
Blah
click
blah 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 blah.
through it. Yeah,
Not
exactly.
The stories.
It's in the top. If you take all patrols, it's in the top. The ninth.
Ninth roll. Okay.
Ready?
All right. I launched it.
Me too. Wow, long time in loading.
Yeah.
Mine is still loading. I just played it
Yep.
like
Mine's still loading too. All right. I just hit. There we go. All right.
Ta-da.
You in?
Hey, I'm just behind
yeah,
you.
I see ya.
Not for long.
Well, that was short.
Did you expect anything else?
Oh, and I got killed again. Duh. Oh, well.
Ah.
That's life. Or death.
I like this one, but they sure talk way too much.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what I need.
Oh.
Well fought. Not responding.
Okay, so that's one down.
So Sav, are you here? Is it Sav or Ed?
Sav's
Whoever
here.
runs the hangar pet build.
I don't think Ed's got a
That
specific
is
hanger pet
not-
build. That's Von Marcus, who's got the big hanger
Yeah.
pet build.
Okay.
Though Sav might have one.
I was just wondering if I should try to go for the new Kara hangar pet.
Sav wants to do Battle of the Binary Stars. Sav, do you want to do it as advanced or regular? I don't know if you're going for the mission or if you need something else.
Wow, these are getting slaughtered.
Yep.
She just needs the marks. So it's not for that one.
Oh, I got an accolade. Sweet.
Oh, what accolade did you get?
Frozen over.
Sounds
He's
breenish.
murder. He
Yeah, I
sounds
think
like
it is.
murder brain.
Okay, if you do not want to do Battle of the Binary Stars Advanced, this would be time to leave the group, because we'll do this with Sav, and then we'll come back and finish up the last 2 Discovery patrols, if that's okay. Otherwise, feel free to team on your own and do the patrols with...
I need advance
Jason.
marks anyway.
Okay, well, stay in. Otherwise, you're welcome to leave. Is everyone good?
I'm good.
Okay. Sav, we're going to do Battle of the Binary Stars Advanced. Weeboo? Okay. I like Battle of the Binary
great.
Stars because it's got so much downtime you can sit there and do your dailies.
I just wish it wasn't so buggy.
Thank you for
Is it
coming.
buggy?
Recent
Well, I
test
mean, you
results
can't.
about it.
I can't use my heavy attack craft. It
That's
never
because
gives
it's
the.
because it's a simulation and you're not supposed to have those.
But I can use my wing pets, and I can
Because
use
technically
non-standard
the wing
ships.
The wing pets are technically part of your ship. That's why you can use them.
Well, that was it.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Well, that's good.
You want to do? You want to do another?
Yes, I need to do 2 more actually.
Yeah, we all have to do 2 more. But we're going to help Sav out first because she's special.
We could say, is it Sentinels that's also part of it? The Donato system? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah. Just tell me when you're ready.
Hey, Technophantomez.
Oh, I've already got the. Okay.
Yeah, it was a good episode. I don't know if you were here while we were doing our chit-chat about it, but it was fun.
I launched, Jason.
The Sentinels?
Yes.
Oh, good grief.
I'll just be waiting for you.
Oh no. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I had it on the wrong tab.
Oh.
Yeah, I had it on the PvP tab. I don't know why I was on that one.
There you go.
Not doing that one.
Which one?
PvPs. Not doing PvPs. Hey, don't forget you do have 3 days to do the Discovery patrols if you need to. Because I know there's a lot of dailies that people haven't done yet.
Who else had was anybody had a Borg TFO?
I need one.
Okay, because we could take a Borg TFO and bring Jason because you need to do destructible torpedoes, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course. I have, of course, Herald ships, Terran ships, and Undine ships. And they're in the battle zones. And I don't know if I'll bother to reroll on those. Hey, don't forget we were talking about the Intel Escort on a disruptor build. We want to talk
Okay.
about that a little bit more tonight.
Yeah, we should get it. Yeah, first get a real ship.
I do not have.
Now, which Intel escort? Because there's more than one.
Phantom
Of them.
Intel Escort.
Okay, well, that's one I have.
So it's
What
a
is-
disruptor
what is
build.
this other Intel escort?
Pardon?
You just said there's more than one.
Yeah, there's the temporal Intel escort. There's the Cardassian Intel escort. There's all
You
sorts
already get
of-
that last one hooked up.
So it's a disruptor build, but it sounds like he's got all of his engineering slots filled with power boosts. So he's getting killed super fast.
Okay.
It's kind of the price you do to throw everything into a
Glass cannon, you die quick.
So, you know, there's got to be something he can do to get the firepower he wants, but get some hull, heals, and shields. And I don't know what he's got for the build.
I
So
don't-
Well,
Destroyer
the
333
Tilly
if you're
shield
out there.
really helps.
Oh, that's right. Tilly shield.
And of course, there's lots of other things that you get as a result of
he can
being
always
tier
go,
5.
he can always change out one of his specializations over to temporal, which means that when he's about 30% hull, he gets teleported away and then a hull heal automatically.
Like I have image refractors,
Okay.
which does plus 20% to all damage. But
he
if
doesn't
you
have
really
the
get
console
in
slots.
danger with it, image refractors stealth that has you go cloaked, that's undetectable, and you heal while you're stealth. So
But
for
he
8
doesn't have the
seconds, you get the
console
stuff
slots.
back. So he doesn't have the slots. I can't really help him with that. But the 20% damage, I think,
Ah,
you
good
can really get some of that.
Well, I think depending on what he's got for his engineering boosts, if he's not using something that's effective in terms of wasting, or not wasting, but utilizing a full slot when there might be something better. And that's why,
Computer.
Destroyer, if you're out there and you could let us know exactly what's on the build, you could go to Stowe Academy and put it there and let us know, or join us in the conversation, which would also help.
And the clock have been disabled, and their crews have been ordered to evacuate. Our records showed that the
I'm going to go over to the Jaeger.
Okay, I'll take the Clark.
during the battle.
Easy peasy.
Yep.
The Clark and Jaeger are disabled. They're launching a escape pod. Recover the survivor.
I don't know who this person is.
Which person?
I don't know which one I'm on.
Okay, which one should
Yeah,
I
Clark
do
is where
now?
I'm at, if you can see that. You're over by me.
Yeah,
Cross
I'm going
services
to
the
run
Clark.
Saul.
And GT's here. Have we got enough people over on the other one?
There's Amy over there.
That's off. I think
Yeah,
that's off.
so
That's
I'm
off.
headed over there too.
And ours,
Oh, and ours. Who's Amy?
Somebody
Oh,
from
Amy's
Forbidden
Melly
Angels.
Marty. Sorry, my bad, Melly.
What is the last?
All right. I'm up for anything except for Briar Patch.
I can't remember which one more do we need.
It's
Briar
in
Patch.
your in progress. It gives the list of which ones you can use.
I know. No, I cannot see it because it's part of the university.
Haha, Jaeger, we got 25 so far.
Yeah, there's nobody over here collecting. What did you want me to do?
Collect
So
them.
not the Briar Patch.
Collect
Which
them.
one?
You just double.
Uh,
when you,
Anything but the Briar Patch. Actually, I'm thinking
Okay.
Ruins of Doom.
Ruins of
Let's
Doom are
take
good.
Lucy. Yeah. Then just say when you launch.
All right, I'm launching now.
It's just because, Mom, when you have
yeah,
taken.
somebody flew into me, Mom.
Still my fault.
The ship was RRW.
Still not my fault.
I wasn't moving. I was a still object.
Yeah, and?
You flew into me.
And? Are you okay? Were you hurt?
Yes,
Yeah, he needs a boo-boo.
I have whiplash.
I am a Ferengi. I can act as a lawyer.
It's true, you can. Got 4 more, 3 more to collect.
What? Neutralize it, or are you doing it? Okay.
I'm doing it now. Yeah, I need to get almost right on it to.
Yeah. I'll just take the second one.
I'm Takuma. My ship is disabled. Again.
I got my 40, so stop complaining.
I'll just attack them, Jason, then you can go in and disable it.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
Alright, let's
Where's
get these
the?
last 60 ships and be done with this.
Ow!
Ow. Oh, I heard that. Who was that from? Techno Phantomes,
Okay.
Phantomies, whatever
Okay, it's
your
not
name
letting me.
is.
It's not letting me call the. Not letting me call the.
Thank you for the follow. We appreciate it. And we hope you
Okay.
enjoyed tonight's episode, or yesterday's episode, or Wednesday's episode, depending on when you watched it.
It's already disabled.
Okay, that one was. That might explain why I had trouble doing it.
I disabled it while you were.
That might explain why I couldn't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is this one disabled too?
Everything is disabled. Now we just need
Okay.
to
Good.
go.
Tomorrow's turning into a busy day.
Why? It's Saturday.
It's Saturday, but yes, I've got stuff to do first thing in the morning, and the student just called me about
She
class
teaches
after
class.
class.
Oh.
Yeah. Because for the moment, that's the way I'm going to be making money, is by teaching students. Come to Bomb School of Pain.
Now that shall be fun.
purse. I don't know you.
Well, my instructor affectionately called his school Sylvie's House of Pain for a long time, but he realized people weren't incentivized to come join us. That was the advertisement.
Oh, you should call yourself Cobra Kai.
Hardly.
Show
You know
no
what? You
mercy.
should bring your car, and they can learn the wax on, wax off.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Lift
none of
the
them have
weight.
seen that, including me.
You've never seen Karate Kid?
I've never seen Karate Kid.
Oh man.
I know,
one's a
I'm
good
like-
one.
Even my
should-
teacher's like, what?
All right.
Oh, speaking of which, it needs to
And that takes care of that. All I've got left is. Oh man, I even got the targetable torpedoes too. All I have left is Voth ground.
You have not seen the Karate Kid.
I've never.
What sort of heathen are you? We're not looking at you like you look at people who say they've never seen Star Trek.
Well,
What's Star Trek?
Is it like Star Wars?
I think it's like
I think it's
Doctor
like
Who.
Battlestar Galactica.
I think it's like Doctor Who or something.
Babylon
I got it.
5 perhaps?
Firefly, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, what do I need? What do I need? I need Romulan. Oh, that's a first. I need Romulan. I need Romulan marks. Wow.
No elite
Phoenix
mark
Blue?
for this one.
Pardon?
Since Mom teaches martial arts and she's never
Oh,
seen Karate
oh.
Kid,
I've never seen Karate.
we should shame her.
Yeah,
You have
I-
been
At
shamed.
least she didn't say she didn't. She didn't. At least she did. At least we're not talking about. You didn't see the original. You didn't see the remake.
Nope.
I'll
Well, you
just
didn't
be
miss
out
much on the
there.
remake.
I'll just be out strangling the kiddies with
Go strangle the
love.
kitties. Mar Hawkman said, today something silly happened, though it sounds wonderful to me. I managed to do Battle of the Binary Stars daily and all personal endeavors at the same time. Sir, I am so jealous. Well, I think Phoenix Blue would probably hate Karate Kid because I know enough about it to know what's right and wrong with it. It threw me off watching something the other day because I'm like, that's not how you do it. That's not how you don't do it that way.
And that was a comedy video.
I know.
I sent that to you. It's like
Yeah, it was.
it's freaking Jim Carrey. Do you expect him to do things right?
I take it you don't learn martial arts by waxing a car.
Don't I wish, but no.
It
But-
depends on the discipline. It really does. For instance, when I learned how to, toughen my knuckles, you'd figure that you do that by punching a bag. Well, my particular delightful senpai decided that the best way to do that would be to punch the concrete floor.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And that was an effective way of building the calluses in your hands and things of that nature. So anything that's really repetitive, and it gives you that muscle memory. And that's what the whole thing was about. It's about encouraging muscle memory. So you're not thinking, and when you're panicked, you're doing that out of just desperation. It overcomes the fight or flight response. And that's the whole thing that we're talking about. Whether it's actually done that way, I don't really know, because Tay is a completely different thing from karate. So it's a really confusing thing to really talk about. Now, like I said, I studied Kempo, so it's Chinese boxing. I don't know if there's any significant difference, but I do know that they existed and started at about the same time. But it was really those ancillary skills that became the primary advantage of combat. So if you look at the monks that started Kung Fu, for instance, all of their weapons came from farming implements.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was ninjutsu that was like that.
It's actually quite a few martial arts.
Ninjutsu is a little different, because ninjutsu is basically no holds barred. Whatever got the job done is what you used. For anybody that thought that ninjas have honor, that ninjas are this, that ninjas are that, they don't understand what an assassin's supposed to do. They get the job done. It doesn't matter how it's completed. So if you look at like a sword that a ninja uses, some people call them a toe, some people call them a ninja toe, some people call it a ninjango. I mean, there's so many different names for the weapons that they use. All it means is non-official weaponry, whatever they happen to use in order to complete the job. They didn't use katanas. They didn't use naginata. They didn't use any of the common Chinese or Japanese weapons, because they had to conceal them, often on their person, to escape the notice of Budo. And Budo are what we commonly call as samurai.
Mm-hmm.
So the samurais were looking for the ninja were looking to avoid the samurai, and typically the way to do that is by having non-traditional weaponry, because samurai were so ingrained in that traditionalism, it was very easy to sneak something past them that wasn't traditional.
Well, there is also the practicality aspect of it, which is Japan is not a country loaded with raw metal, so having metal in a when you weren't a member of the ruling classes was really tough. Yes. So we talk about that a lot. If you're familiar with the actual art of sword making in Japan, since there isn't a natural source of iron, most of it is from some meteorites that they have found. And a little bit in one or two mountains, but very little. And they harvest the iron from the meteorite, then try to come down with two different types. One very malleable, which makes for a great core, and one a little bit more rigid, which makes for a better cutting edge. And I've gotten to watch the priests performing the rites of how they temper the metal from the meteorite, and just videos of it, obviously not in person.
There's a good example of this. If you look at the YouTube series, Man-at-Arms Reforged.
I'm getting there. Sentinels, there. Okay. I couldn't remember which one we were on. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nobody's going to invite me? Is that what we're saying? Nobody's going to invite me? I see how it is. I see how it is.
It wasn't me this time. Wasn't me. This was Saab.
Yeah. There's a YouTube series called Man-at-Arms Reforged, and there's the guy that they actually have doing the making the metal parts of the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Is actually trained in the Japanese style of sword making. So he goes about exactly what has to be done in order to create those swords. He talks about the origin. He talks about how they were one of the very first people to use folding in a weapon.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's what made katanas so impressive, is that they were far harder and they were far more resilient than other swords ever.
The folding act and the reheating allows them to bring excess carbon up to the surface, so that you do get the more malleable steel. And can flex when it needs to flex.
All right, we have one satellite left to deploy.
What is the name of our fleet? I don't know.
The name of our fleet, Starfleet.
4222.
Oh, that's
They're hitting
SFMC.
satellite Alpha again.
Starfleet FFMC Squad 42.
Yeah.
Because DT likes short names.
So it's just
Actually, it was a shorter name to begin with, but then somebody renamed it after trying to take over the fleet.
so the name of the fleet is called what? Starfleet Strike Group.
No, Starfleet Strike Group is the fleet that I'm in.
Another launch going after satellite.
We have the
Go to
Klingon
the
Strike Group.
Armada.
So I don't know which one I'm a part of.
I-
How
We're
do
part
I
of
check that?
Starfleet Strike Group, yeah.
Yeah, you should be in Starfleet Strike Group.
Yeah, I'm in Starfleet Strike Group. I mean, what fleet specifically am I in? That's what I'm asking.
Starfleet Strike Group is the fleet.
Because somebody's asked me a question, I didn't know that. The right answer to give.
Somebody asked me a question, asked to join the fleet, then started complaining that, oh, you people to be on a message board and message each other. No, we don't. Yeah, you do.
We do?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, where'd you
News
get
to
that
me.
information?
I mean, we've got one. Why join
Yeah,
it?
we
You're
got
welcome to.
one.
All right.
We encourage people to join it, but it's not required.
It used to be a requirement once you got to commander or higher.
Yes, it was actually.
All right, I got my endeavors done.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Now where are we
Lots
going?
of good data coming in from the satellites. Looks like they're green. The Alachi, the Ferengi,
Yeah.
Ora-
Shut up, Stamets. You are too noisy.
Just a moment.
getting lots of the.
Go. Of course, I'm getting people texting me from work. Okay.
Wait. You don't work for them anymore. You can tell. You can just kind of go.
Okay. Sorry. Work stuff.
You can kind of leave all sorts of insults. You don't work for them anymore.
No, this is school work. That work stuff. The Vikings and similar European cultures used folding as well. Yes, they did. I think that the Japanese, though, predated the evolution of the folding swords in European culture by, I don't know.
The katanas that Japan developed between 300 and 400 AD. The Vikings that you see that had folded weaponry were in the 11 to 1400s.
Yes.
And most of it was actually encouraged by eventually the Silk Road,
Yes, it was.
which happened during the 14s and 1500s.
So it does become a question of, was the folding something that occurred at two different points in human development at two different locations, or do you think it was passed on from Japan back to the Middle East, where we obviously have Damascus steel?
Well, see, Damascus steel is a different process.
Yes, it is.
And, I mean, Damascus steel actually uses ash as the hardening component. So I would say it is a completely different technology.
But
Actually,
did it do-
fully on Damascus, nobody really knows exactly how that.
Well, they've actually taken apart Damascus blades, and they know how it was chemically done. They believe it was. I mean, they don't know the exact process, but
Right. They
the
don't know the
chemistry
process.
involved is different than katanas,
Yeah.
and it has to do more with. They believe that saltpeter may have been a critical component that didn't exist in Japan. There could have been a lot of different things that were used. I mean, Japan used sulfur in order to get their explosives, not saltpeter. And so it really does change the way that you approach, was it a genuinely new technology, or was it just copying from whatever? Because the Damascus blade was back in 230 BC. So even though a lot of people don't know how it was made specifically, it could have happened from a much earlier point in time.
Right.
And that's why so many people are fascinated by it.
Watching Forged in Fire, which is another good show to watch for weapon making, you kind of start looking up other things.
Yeah, I like Forged in Fire. I actually know quite a few people who have been on it. I want her to be a a blacksmith when I had a lot more time and an understanding of the world around me. But yeah, Forged in Fire is a really good show.
Yeah, there's an interesting website, which is actually a store, called Samurai Swords, that discusses some of the differences between the Nihonto and Damascus steel and how they're formulated and what the advantages and disadvantages are. If anybody's really interested in reading that, it's kind of cool.
I always find that interesting, but yeah.
Yeah, no, you generally don't want to use pure ore because pure ore isn't necessarily what you want. It can actually be worse. There's a line in Pacific Rim where they go, oh yeah, this one's made out of pure iron as opposed to any of that compounded alloy stuff. And having just left, or actually at that moment, working in a place that dealt very heavily with the advantages of alloys, we were like, but.
Yeah, like for example, only part of the katana is actually hardened.
Yeah.
The what? What's actually hardened?
The actual cutting blade is hardened. The back of it is actually flexible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you talking about on a samurai sword?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do that with a bit of clay when they.
Right when they heat treat.
Mm-hmm. It helps to give you that wonderful clay line in it as well.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
That distinctive, wonderful clay line.
Mm-hmm. So let's go kill some more things. If that's
Okay.
good with you.
All right. I think you're in charge.
Thane says, my sword is pure iron. That's nice, but my sword doesn't snap. So true. So true. All right, what are we doing?
And you say that after you take your steel blade, cut through his iron blade.
Mm-hmm.
After.
Yeah. I do have a real sword, but it is a commercially made sword. It's real.
Yeah, I got a couple of commercially made ones, which kind of the cheapy replica stuff, but
yeah.
It still cuts something, and they're kind of fun to hold and things like that.
Well, you can argue that any long blade is a genuine sword. I mean, you can argue that
it is a genuine sword. It's going to cut stuff.
It may not be a genuine Japanese sword or a genuine English sword or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a sword.
Yeah, technically speaking. All right, I still need a Discovery Patrol if anybody's interested.
Okay,
I'm interested.
So I'm still teamed with you. Yeah, it's a sword. If there was a zombie apocalypse, I need to lop heads or something. It wouldn't be something I would use long term, but
no.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of sword would be best for lopping heads.
Well, actually, a katana, if you make the strike close enough to the base. One of my. I'm not the team leader apparently, DT.
The sword that was actually designed for beheading.
Pardon?
Was the sword designed for beheading?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Was the Zweihander.
Oh yeah,
and,
yes, it was.
Yeah, didn't the French have a sword that they used for beheading, for like
Yeah, absolutely.
A guillotine.
No.
No. It was before the guillotine was invented. They had a sword specially made for
the
executions.
Axe.
Yes, they did.
It was actually the English used an axe, the French used a sword.
Yes.
There's something called in fact the claymore was actually what is the name? I can't remember the French definition, but it's basically it translates to the tower. And that was one of the first really massive anti-cavalry swords, which is what these were. The Zweihander is an anti-cavalry sword. The claymore is an anti-cavalry sword. The naginata is an anti-cavalry sword. I mean, most of the beheading swords came from cavalry. Flamerge, I believe is.
That's the wavy wet blade.
Yeah, it's the wavy one, but I can't remember whether that's Saudi Arabian or Meccan, I guess would be the
I
technical
want to say
term.
Turkey, but
I don't think it's French, though. In fact, I'm almost positive it's not French. Hold on a second.
At the time that, what was the first one?
The French executioner's sword was called an executioner's sword. Interestingly enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd have a cleverer name than that.
they
No, why
knock your
not?
head
Keep
off.
it simple.
They remove your noggin.
Yeah, but it was literally called the executioner's
I
sword.
know. I just googled it myself to check it out. Right before you said it, I googled it.
That just leave it to the French to be entirely like original.
Well, they didn't give it a special name. We are taking your head. You do not need a specially named sword for this.
But yeah, the flame urge, to what Sav said, the flame urge was actually considered it was called an arcanist weapon because you were believed to be cursed if you had one. The flame urge was not a traditionally used because it was seen to be cruel and unusual.
Huh.
It was something that pirates or people they would consider tyrants would carry those kind of weapons.
Arr.
Okay, what kind of sword was that?
The flame urge,
Uh,
it was a bastard sword that had a weave blade.
I always thought pirates had a cutlass.
Some did, and in fact, if you were in the British Navy or the Spanish Navy, you almost.
So that was a navy sword then.
Most pirates were former Navy,
Makes
and
That makes sense.
Yes.
so most of their
After-
swords would be
After-
naval and bases.
After all, one man's pirates, another man's privateer.
Quite so.
In fact, privateers were far more prevalent than pirates, and they did the exact same job.
Mm-hmm.
Except for they looked at the flag first before they decided to board you.
Okay, we have one more patrol to do. DT and Frost, what do you want to do for the third one?
Whatever's disco based.
Well, we have Imaga, Donatu, Briar Patch, and Kinger. We've already done Kinger.
Let's do a MAGA.
Imaga. Which one is Imaga?
MAGA system.
Imaga.
It's Runes of Doom.
Runes of Doom. Is everybody good with Runes of Doom?
I'm beaming in now.
Launching. So, who was the second bride of Henry VIII? Anne
Getting
Boleyn.
some unusual-
Anne
Yeah,
Boleyn,
Anne Boleyn.
when she
Right.
knew she was
Hate
going
to
to be executed, begged for Henry to not have her head
do not
head
wanna
chopped
compare
off
those radiation
by the big swords, but to get a French executioner over to take care of that for her.
I
And
know
he
the
accommodated.
You know, there's actually a pretty prevalent story in English folklore saying that Anne Boleyn wasn't actually killed. It was one of her doubles.
Yeah, probably not. Probably was her. I've
I mean,
heard that though.
it was Henry VIII, and he probably would have had background to figure out whether it was really her or not. But
Yeah.
it is a fairly popular story, and
I'm sure.
I'm not educated enough in it to say one way or the other.
But as you pointed out, he certainly was in no position to not get exactly what he wanted done, because he was done with her. Had other fish to fry. Plenty of women.
You got this one? Okay, you got it.
Colony neutralized. Let's head toward the next one. Picking up Mokai ships on long-range sensors. We're about to have company.
Yeah, I was very heavily considering English literature as a minor in college, and so I learned all about like the medieval period because I was obsessed with feudalism and that kind of thing. And I was horribly disappointed when I found out what feudalism basically really was. But I mean, I was really. I mean, as a kid, I was into Mort to Arthur. I was into Sword of Miss Lane. I was into all those different things, and I was. I mean, I was borderline obsessed. But when you learn what those things really are, a lot of the mysticism goes.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ruin it for anybody that likes Disney.
You don't want to ruin it for anybody who likes Disney, did you say?
Yes. Because let me put it this way. I'll just give you a snippet. Rapunzel is a story about lettuce.
Okay. Lettuce.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do not want to hear in my lettuce.
That's the newest thing on arrival.
Well, actually, the original story of Rapunzel is a French tale, and they talk about how it was greed that caused Rapunzel to become what she was.
Ah.
It's not the Disney version. It certainly isn't the Disney version.
I didn't
The
know
father
Disney had a
of-
version of it, so.
Okay, I've heard of the story, but I'm trying to remember which one it was. Which one was it?
What's down here?
Tangled.
Long here? Oh, that's Disney?
Yeah, that's Disney.
Still haven't seen it.
Okay, the one
Anyway.
with what?
Do you
The,
remember
the
which?
chick with the hair, with the really long hair.
Up in the tower. Let's
Okay,
down
okay,
here,
yeah.
the hair.
Yeah, it's one of Disney's more recent ones.
Anyway, it's
All tangled, yeah.
it's a French type of lettuce called
Really?
rampion.
Oh, yeah, I know what Rampion is.
And rampion is what the father of Rapunzel was stealing from the witch's garden when he was caught by the witch. And the witch said, "You can give your wife as much." I mean, basically, the wife complained and complained and complained until her husband literally broke into this witch's garden that everybody's afraid of, stole lettuce for her so she could have a salad. I'm not making that up. And he was caught because it's a witch. She's not stupid. And the witch said, "You can have as much as you like, but your first child is mine." And the husband had no choice but to agree because she was a witch. And when she was born, the wife who had the lettuce tried to hide the child, but being a witch, she understood where the child was and took it from her. So literally, they worked into a contract, and she made sure they fulfilled the contract. She's not the bad guy in the story. The bad guy in the story is the woman who can't seem to keep her hands to herself, not stealing from other people.
So basically, the bad guy was the woman wanting a salad.
Yes, quite literally.
Salad is evil now.
But I mean, the most interesting part, in fact, when the Grimm brothers actually told the story, what they were trying to do is talk about the danger of wanting what the nobility has. Because it was considered illegal to have your own private garden.
Wow.
Inside of a fiefdom.
Really?
Yeah. Inside of a fiefdom, which, if anybody doesn't know, that's part of the kingdom. You could grow your fields, but your baron or your magistrate or whomever decided how much of that field belonged to the king. And then how much of that field belonged to the baron, how much of that field belonged to the duke, so on and so forth. The horrible thing about living in those times is you were literally a slave to the king.
Mm-hmm.
He decided whether you lived or died,
Yes.
where you went, who you belonged to, and how much you were going to give him. If you offended him, he would simply increase what's called a talent of how much you paid him in response. And that's where a lot of the currency in England came from, and Europe all over came from that. Is instead of paying in produce, instead of paying in goods, you could pay in gold.
Mm-hmm.
So currency actually came from a chance of getting away from the whole slavery concept. If you were rich enough, you could buy your way out. But feudalism, by and large, is a slavery system that lasted 500 years. And Disney doesn't portray it that way at all.
No.
Yeah, well, I can't say I blame him.
Now, was it the Brothers Grimm who were actually did a lot of research on early linguistic consonantal drift? Or was it? I know it was somebody who recorded.
Magellan
stories.
did a lot on drift. I'm not certain.
Not continental. Consonantal.
Oh,
On the-
consonant.
Yes, one of the early storytellers who recorded the stories caught that there were linguistic drifts.
Yes, that was actually, unless I'm completely mistaken, that was Voltaire,
Okay.
French philosopher, because he was the one that started the College of Language in Paris, and he was determined to keep the French language pure.
Interesting.
And so it's the only language up until the 20th century that did not have any variations. They didn't have slang. They didn't have this. They didn't have that.
Yep.
In fact, if you did find slang, it was typically English slang or something called Pictish that was spoken in Paris during the World War I, if they wanted to say something that the Germans wouldn't understand.
Interesting.
So there's another one that actually came out of World War I called Blarney. Blarney is also today in Wales as Cockney. And
really?
Cockney was a rhyming language
Yes.
that they would use to confuse whomever they didn't know. So they could say whatever they wanted to. And it was pig Latin in today's kind of perception. In fact, there's one of the more interesting parts, and languages by and large is the most fascinating thing for me. Because during the American Revolution, Washington had a series called The Casper Tale. A lot of people don't know this. He invented a language that only his agents understood. And so he could actually be speaking to anybody in general, but to his agents, he could be saying something completely different. And it's
Susan,
all about.
Thank you for the subscription.
It's all about where all that. The perception that a person who hears it is getting from. Sorry, I geek out when it comes to languages and cultures.
A very interesting book that I've read about the English language is Words on the Move.
Okay.
And I forgot the author's name, but he talks about how there was a lot of people who wrote dictionaries for the purpose of not letting the English language change. But it never worked.
Yeah, I was going to say, that didn't work.
Yeah, it never worked. But that's what the book was about, was how the English language changes.
Yeah,
I forgot the author's name to it.
John McWhorter? Warder?
Could be.
Warder. I'm looking at the Amazon page, so that's...
I think the subtitle is How the English Language Can't and Won't Sit Still. Or
Why
something
English
like that
won't and can't sit still, like literally.
Yeah. That's a good book. If you want just some good nonfiction, interesting reading, that's a good book.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to change your life, but it's just fun to read.
wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good books out there that are just fun to read.
Extensive bibliography.
Oh, I got attacked by a cat.
All right. Who wants to do what? I've still got to kill some Herald ships, some Terran ships, and some Undine ships.
You got to what?
I have to do Herald ships, Terran ships, and Undine ships.
Okay. Well, I am happy to do whatever, but
Yeah, me too.
what I need to do right now is I have to do a Borg TFO.
Okay, let's do your Borg TFO.
Okay.
Right.
Why
Can I
don't-
team up?
For a bit.
I'm going to
course.
leave the team, and why don't we get a new one going? Is this KDF or Fed?
I'm either way. I would much prefer to stay on KDF.
Okay.
Looking at this guy right now.
Are you,
Okay.
You're not
I'll
on
switch to
KDF, though,
KDF.
you're on Fed.
I'm unfed. Sorry, I'm unfed. I apologize.
Who else? Pi,
I'd like to team up.
Okay, stick an X in strike group. Ty, do you want to jump in? You haven't been with us a lot tonight.
Just do what you do.
Okay.
I'm helping
gonna-
Bobo because he
I'm
has
gonna-
something to move.
I'm going to jump off here for a bit. If
Okay.
you get to the point where you want me to take a look at something, just ping me on Skype. I'll come back, okay? I just need to get out of this chair for a bit.
Yeah, I've been sitting down for 2+ hours, so I can appreciate that.
That's why I like to play from a recliner.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I wonder if a beanbag would work. I think it'd be kind of hard to find a place for the mouse.
Yeah.
Well, you have a little table next to you for the mouse.
Got room
Yeah.
for one more for... What are we doing? We're doing a Borg TFO?
Yeah, I was
Do you
figuring
care
just.
which one we do?
I don't. I mean, I'd prefer something like short, like
ISA? We can do ISA.
Yeah, the
Infected conduit.
infected conduit. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, we got 4 people.
Oh my gosh.
Bookdow, we are going to do ISA if you want to. I've teamed you if you want to join us. It'll be fast, fun, painless.
Unless you go going in like I do and just try to shoot everything at the same time.
No.
There's a method to its madness.
No, there typically isn't. I shoot until things stop moving.
Is everyone ready?
Yep.
I am ready.
That's right. Okay. Wee woo?
We will.
Wee woo.
Yep. Ooh. Thanks. Thanks, Devok. You're very helpful. Devok is a very helpful admiral, right?
I hated the really fast start, but I don't think anybody really needs 15 or 30 seconds to get ready for this one.
Well, if you have to read it, the first time you play it, you have to read it. That 30 seconds is nice.
It is, the first time.
He's dead, Jim. You will be bored. We just destroyed like
I went the wrong
5
way there.
ships in like half a second.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't be bragging at that point. That's all I'm saying.
Repair the transporters. Stop them.
Why do I have that in my head?
What?
It's an African song that I heard when I was in elementary school, believe it or not.
Which one?
It's Ging Gang Gully 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 Watcha Ging Gang Goo Ging Gang Goo.
Okay, you got me on that one.
It was a song that that kids would sing on their way to primary schools in South Africa. And it was a way of basically keeping step with one another.
Kind of like a march
Yeah,
for kids.
which I know it's kind of scary when you think about it. But it's in my head and I don't really know why. I was in show choir when I was in elementary school.
I was not a good singer, which means that first
My
half-
school didn't have choir.
Well, we had 4 choirs. We had the boys' choir, we had the girls' choir, we had the concert choir, and we had kind of like junior concert choir. And I am not a good singer by any stretch of the imagination. So therefore, I spent 4 hours a day in choir. Because, well, I'm not a good singer. I'm one of 2 people in school who can play piano.
2 people in school, huh?
Yeah, who would be willing to spend 4 hours a day just playing piano?
Hey, I mean, if that's what you do, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Certainly nothing wrong with that.
Well, I was going to go into music because I thought I was really good. I was informed at some point that I was not really good. I was decent, but not really good.
Well, there's a lot of people that do it for a living. That I had the
Oh, I did it
misfortune
for a living for a long time. I just wasn't good.
Well, I mean, I lived in Rochester, New York, and if you know anything about Rochester, New York, they have the Eastman School of Music, which is like number 2, Juilliard being number 1. But it's an incredibly competitive school.
Yeah.
And some of those people that get in there, I don't think they're good at all. They do, but they get into Eastman School of Music. I think these Borg are having a bad day.
Yeah.
It's about to get really bad
Yep.
here. There we go. Hi, Borgies.
Why?
Well, that should take care of that Borg TFO you folks needed.
It did.
Yay. Okay, who else
75
has
mark.
stuff they need to get done?
I was going to do Zenkathi Battle Zone on my own. Wait a while.
It's one
Quick
I don't
Kawali.
have. I've got Herald chips. I'm going to see if I can re-roll some of this stuff.
Let's do yours. Just do your Herald chips.
Well, Undine, I can go zip off to the Undine Battle Zone and do it, but yeah, what's got Herald chips? Besides Gateway to
Gateway to
Growth. Yeah, did Gateway this
Gateway to Grethwar and whatever the other one was.
Herald
You can
Sphere.
also take the mission.
Held. Okay.
What was that?
Battle of Corfez is elite.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get
Herald
5 chips.
Sphere.
Yeah.
You can. Just
Yeah,
take
I
the-
get smashed every time that leads me to there. Ever since they started doing the random button though, it hasn't put me there.
Or you can just take the mission.
Which mission? Butterfly?
Yeah,
Midnight.
Broken Circle.
Broken Circle. Is that the one? Oh, there's one where you run into them early on. I can't remember.
Please report to the Kiana system. Our partnership with the Crinum is starting to bear fruit. But the project
I'd like
takes
to
more
kill him.
time to
It's got some
complete
nice
than we
toys
have
to it
left.
too.
We must
I will take that one a little bit later. If anybody would like to zip off to the Undine Battle Zone with me, that would be cool.
Well, hey, just
Undine
invite.
Battle Zone. Okay, I can join you there.
I will happily join you if you want.
Certainly.
I'm on my way to the Zenkathi, but I can always do that later. Hey, Zero is joined. Welcome to Zero.
Yeah, that's Bokatu. Bokatu.
Booked out.
Booked out.
Booked out.
He's better than number 1. He's number 0.
See,
Oh,
he's
no.
awesome.
Yeah.
Also, they let us
He
bring our
just-
own instruments. In fact, they required us to bring our own instruments if we were going to do that.
He just wanted us to adopt some of his tunes. So
You know,
What-
I
You said
started
on
playing.
Battle Zone.
We're
yeah.
up to, yes.
Okay, we're talking about the Undine Battle Stone.
We are talking about the Sphere Allied Space Undine Battle Zone.
Okay. The one with the space donuts that you like to call
Space-
bagels.
Yes, space bagels. Well, it's Ed's decision that they're space bagels, not mine. I had nothing to do with it.
Well, actually, there are space.
Space Oreos, actually.
I would say
There's
more
could
like
be space
Oreos,
Cheerios,
because
not to mention it.
Donuts have holes in them.
Yes, well, so do bagels.
Not
So
filled
yes.
donuts.
Yeah, filled donuts don't.
well, these are
Yeah, so
split.
there.
Maybe
But
these-
yeah, the donut holes are actually just as good, if not better, than the donuts themselves.
It depends. It depends.
Yeah, because the donut holes are bite-sized. That's what I like about them.
Yes, I haven't had donut holes in a long time. I should go to the donut place tomorrow.
I am waiting at the Undine side,
Hold
and
on.
I just saw you pass me.
I just passed you. So we are in sphere space. We are in Battle Zone 2.
I just got in at the looks like 7 o'clock spot.
Okay. Are you in 2?
Yep. Battle Zone. Oh, good grief!
Oh Jesus!
It's not letting me know.
I just looked at my look. I'm just looking for looking. I'm just had a look at my LFT status. You know, the one where you can put in like whatever.
Okay.
And I still have.
Yeah, I'm in number 2. It got 2 fleet and 2 friends. It says.
And my LFT message is just think Johnny Wishbone and I come running.
Oh, and there you guys are right there.
Yep, we're here.
Oh no. So,
How many kills you have, Mom?
Oh, I didn't even look. At 1. Well, if you guys are going to be there, let me go kill things on my own.
Yeah, I'll just stand out of
that's
the
okay.
way.
I'll go in. You guys have fun. I'll go into the center section and go kill things. Go have
Okay.
fun.
All right.
It's the only
What happened to
drawback.
you here? It's not about having fun. I mean,
Of course, it's about having fun. It is a game. It must be about having fun.
take 30 ships. How do you like that?
2,
Oh, good grief! I'm in
3.
this.
Did you just try to sneak up on me? Serious lagging.
Well, that one's done. And I only got 8 ships. Bummer. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing adequate.
I'm having all my ships do all the work. Nice shooting ticks.
All the center's done.
How many kills you got?
Just 9.
And how many do you need?
30.
where are you at?
We are at Undine Space Zone
Yeah.
2, I believe.
I'm in the same instance, but where?
We are at the 7 o'clock position. Yeah, the 8 o'clock position.
The space bacon. Or Oreo.
No, we're not at the Oreo. We're at the whatever the heck you call these things. Singularities.
Yeah. Keep getting caught in this drift, and it's frustrating.
Oh yeah.
We almost got it here.
That's 15. Explains a lot.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello there.
Oh!
I have some questions for
Von
you. If you have
Marcus?
time.
Yes.
I am currently working on a
Build?
a Tanger build,
Oh, yes.
and I am using well, I've got quite a few ships like at my disposal at this point. But I would love your help if
And there we
you
go.
offer some ideas.
Okay, well, I can't do any background research until my new glasses come in. My current pair broke this morning.
Ow.
Well, that sucks. I'm sorry.
So,
I'm heading to the
read-
knuckle.
Has
I'm sorry.
a idea to read chat. I have my internet browser at 140% magnification.
Ow.
Yeah.
Same vision as my dad.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't mind helping with any builds. What damage type are you thinking of going with?
Right now, I have phaser because everything
Okay.
I got is phaser.
Are you
and
focused? Would you like a more maneuverable carrier without expending consoles to do so?
more maneuverable carrier?
Yeah.
Well, the whole reason I'm on the Jemadar carrier is wing ship. And I
Right,
don't know
but do you want
what
it to
else
be more maneuverable than it normally is?
Well, I have the shields, or I'm sorry, the impulse. It gives me 300% maneuver, 350% maneuverability when I use my thing. So I mean, I'm already pretty maneuverable.
Yes, but that's a temporary maneuverability boost.
Yeah.
If you build some of the Gamma and Lucari sets onto the build, they're second or third tier, depending on the set,
Mom, they're coming out from
gives you a flat
behind you.
turn rate bonus.
Okay.
So that will help be a stopgap measure for
I mean,
turning.
I can do it every. I mean, the bonus lasts 6 seconds, and
Yeah.
I'm refreshing every 7 seconds. So I
Yeah.
think I'm okay there.
Okay, I mean, yeah, if you're doing that, that's good to go. I'm just saying.
I mean, I appreciate the
Yeah.
suggestion. Yeah, I'm going that direction.
Because I
One of
went
the questions I
Polar
had-
for that reason.
One of the questions I had is there any advantage of going with the Nukara elite ships versus the Jemadar?
All right, well, here's the
You
thing.
talking about pets?
Yeah.
Okay, I have my 30 if anybody needs to leave this particular one. Does anybody else need anything from Undine Land?
The only thing I need to get done today is the event,
Oh, okay.
and I don't have the eyesight to be particularly effective. So
You know you can AFK it if you have some teammates who don't mind if you
Yep.
AFK it. Just go in and shoot a
You
little
just
bit.
need to do. You just need to shoot something on
Yeah,
that one.
Just go in and shoot stuff.
yeah, but I don't want to be like the reason people don't do good at it.
I don't
But
care.
Pie's there all the time, and he's the reason.
Ow.
But as far as the Vanguard carrier build,
Ow.
As long as you're shooting stuff, you'll be contributing on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're talking about the binary stars, right?
yeah, but I can't
Yeah.
use any. It's hard to use my abilities because my entire ability bar right now is a funky multicolored blur. Like it's bad.
Well, as I said, all you have to do is shoot stuff, and you'll get the claim. And
All right. Does anybody else
So-
need that event for today?
I've already got mine, but I'm sure willing to play it again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm always happy to help out.
But for your carrier build, you're doing the Vanguard carrier, right? So you're using the Raider that launches out the back,
Yes.
and you've got the Wingman.
Yes.
Both are polar on damage.
I know.
So that's already 3 ships. that if you had stuff that boosted Polaron, will get a bonus, making your build more effective.
That's the thing, is I don't have anything that boosts as it is yet. And I don't have I have some money, but...
The Gamma and Lucari sets, especially the two-piece weapon sets, for each boost Polaron damage.
Mm.
So you've got your Polaron weapons, you've got some torpedoes there that are already passively boosting Polaron damage.
Okay.
So that should help your build. If you stick with the Jem'Hadar Elite Fighters, again, you're slotting into that Polaron damage, you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is just a matter of finding where you can get the extra pets.
Well, I'm waiting. I mean, the whole lobby thing I'm trying to is I want to get the Herc Assembly multi-mission ship
for Hive Bearer.
And I want a Hive Bearer, but I also want the freaking console, which is that's just amazing.
Gamma set.
Huh?
There's a waveform beacon from the Gamma storyline.
Yeah, I have that already.
Okay.
But I'm talking about the actual console that comes with the Herc Assembly.
Oh, I'm not sure I know which one that is.
It's basically the same thing as the wave phase waveform beacon, but it's a constant thing. It's always out.
Really?
Which is why I want it so bad.
You know what it's called?
I don't know the top of my head because I'm in the mission helping Mom.
Okay. You know what? I have the internet. Hold on.
Is it the one on the Stock ship or the Hive ship?
It's a Herc ship.
Just put his face right up onto the screen.
Mom, the Luby ship you got me.
Yeah, it's a Luby ship.
Necrit Assembly.
Okay. Oh, what the hell?
So it's got a console of nullifying tractor field, amplifying Ravager beam, and energy nullifying disperser. It also has the Herc Swarmer fighters.
Yeah, the Swarmer fighters.
Okay. The Swarmer fighters, depending on those are only going to be picked based on your damage type chosen.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Which is the same as everything else. I mean, the reason I have the phaser thing is because I have a lot of tier 15 weapons and that kind of thing.
So you went phaser because you already have pre-upgraded stuff. Okay.
Yeah, that was the initial reason. But I mean, if I can find something that still works and gives me what I want, then I'm
well, I gotta say my Polaron Vanguard carrier, I'm sure you've seen it numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
Running, I went Polaron with that, and it served me well.
No, I'm not doubting that at all. It's definitely a way to go.
Let me see what stuff I have on it. Alright, so that's the linked command matrix. I've got the Cardassian mobile torpedo platform. I've got the defensive Guardian drones, Universal, the Voth power subcore. That's not.
I literally have more devices than I can possibly use.
I'm just quoting off what I've got on the thing.
Yeah.
Greetings.
Modified swarm, the ultimate modified swarm processor.
Mm-hmm. I have that too.
Polymorphic probe array.
I don't have the polymorphic probe.
It launches 3 probes, so when you activate that, that's 3 more things on the field.
Elite tactical flyer. Wow, that's look really nice.
Those are what I don't have.
Mom?
Yes.
You said about when you salvage your stuff.
Yes.
I think you're right. It seems their loot info is broken because I just claimed an hourly Omega one.
Mm-hmm.
And it said I got 21.
21.
Omega rep boxes, which makes sense that I had 20.
Yes, now you've got 21, right. It's just giving you the updated data.
Yeah.
Yes, the updated total count.
Yeah.
Which is a little confusing if that's not what you expected.
Swarmer matrix.
If I was going to say, if they gave me 800 rubidium for that one thing, then they just devalued rubidium in big time. Alright. I got my Herald ships.
What else? I also have the Prior's World Elite Defense Satellite.
Yeah, that's one thing I was trying to figure out how to get. I don't have that one either. That says I should try to be getting the bio something shield generator. I was looking at a thing, a crazy hangar pet build. He had 55 pets out at the same time.
Jeez.
Well, my current record is about high 30s, low 40s, depending on the RNG involved. Once I can finally find a way to get the Disco Connie, those numbers will triple. So, I really want that ship.
So I'm looking at Perrin Pet's Insanity build, and it says that it has 12 Tholian fighters, 4 Tonic Fleet. It has boarding party 6 with Doffs, the Jemadar Wingmen, heavy attack craft, drone guardians.
Okay, I don't count the boarding party because they don't stick around once you they're technical because they're summoned for the short duration getting between ships. I count summoned pets as stuff that's flying around shooting at your enemy.
Well, it's got the support platform cluster, which I don't know if that comes from the mobile torpedo platform, the aceton assimilator, the sabotage probe, biomolecular shield generator, repair platform. I mean, there's all sorts of things here, but I mean, I understand what you're saying. The phase waveform beacon can have up to 15 ships come out. But I mean, I think in order to play this right, then I have to be a science character. This is an engineer. I have a science character.
You definitely want to build it on a science character.
Yeah, like I said, I have it on a science character. I just don't have the money to, get all the stuff that I need in order to do that.
Well, I'm free to play, so the majority of this, including getting the Vanguard carrier, was heavy grind.
Yeah,
for me. I mean, last summer when I started this build, I actually did the grinding for enough dilithium to get the Gamma expansion pack. It was on sale for 13 something cents, 13 something thousand cents instead of 13,000. But I only had to drop an extra $20 to get it while it was still on sale.
Yeah.
And so in 2.5 months, I did the grinding for the lithium from scratch into Zen to get it. So it's doable.
No, I'm certain it is.
And it's the biggest thing was it was so helpful because you get all these extra ships for Admiralty for your entire account.
That's impressive.
So that's been very helpful. And you get the mobile torpedo platform from the Cardassians.
Yeah, and I have that. There's so many things on here that I'm not sure that I really want to have. Like the aceton assimilator, I don't really know what that does for me.
Basically, it's a power suck.
It's a power suck and it damages ships as it sucks power from them.
Which is another benefit for being on a science character. You can then throw that into things like gravity wells, tractor beams, etc.
But the other thing that it wants me to have is the Kabali full set, and I can't get the full set because I wasn't around at the time.
You just need an Epic Phoenix token.
Yeah, good luck with that. I've been trying for that for almost 2 months now.
Yeah, those epic tokens are hard to get. They don't.
I got 2 of them. It doesn't help you any, but I do have 2 of them. It can be done.
Yeah.
No, I know it can be done.
See, I was in the same boat with you. There's a lot of stuff I can't get because it's out of my price range, or it's statistically impossible for me to get.
Yeah.
And so that's the build I ended up with, was my Quacking.
The other problem I have is Sonic Green. That one. I don't have superior nonlinear. Actually, I think I do have nonlinear progression. I don't have superior command frequency. There's just so many things about build that just it's outside of my ability to get somebody.
Superior command frequency, you just have to grind because that's a trait. That's a trait you get. That's a trait you get from command.
Okay.
The biomolecular shield generator is here 5 in.
What about the improved tachyon beam?
Improved tachyon beam is. I think that you get that. That one's pretty gettable too. I think.
What about the biomolecular shield generator?
Tier 5 8472 rep. I've told you this about 6 times in the past 2 days.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
We talked about it, but we didn't say where that one came from.
I said Tier 5 846 counter command rep.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be difficult, I swear.
But you're so good at it.
You're really good at it.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Thanks. You guys are just amazing.
You're getting really damn good at that one too.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm looking up your.
I don't need to have 58 ships out there. That's the.
But it would be cool.
I want to have a thing. I mean, I want to have a build put together where
you need the Geneva class apparently for the tachyon.
So you want to find the happy middle ground between an F ton of pets and effective ship should your pets get destroyed.
Well, more or less, I want to have a command and control kind of ideal where I can do the carrier type thing and actually have it act as a carrier. If I'm involved, then something really bad has happened.
Alright, then A, you're going to want a science director.
Yeah.
The biggest thing with that is because you're using the Vanguard, it's got the wingman. I'm sure you already know to link your wingman so that when you hit something, they both trigger.
Yeah.
But if you've got a really good gravity well, they can grab a bunch of enemies. The wingman's attack activation is an area attack on everything in that firing arc. So you cluster everything together, you drop that, you're good. Your mobile torpedo platform drops the torpedoes, the small radius of your torpedo blast does extra damage to everything in that cluster. Like, you just group everything together. But to be most effective, you need science build for a really good gravity well. I also use the multi-targeting tractor array console, because when it comes to things like TFOs, destroyed missions, where you've got one big bad ship that you've got to take down, I make sure that I can park it in space.
Yeah.
Because I can drop the elite defense satellite turret, which is a tractor beam. I can drop the regular tractor beam, and I can drop the multi-array tractor beam. A total of 5 tractor beams on one target. Plus a gravity well, and then everything I've ever summoned is firing on this thing.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it gets mean. You know what else dealt the most damage? I was able to do one infected conduit advance where I had my party go, look, you guys can raffle pwn the entire map, I don't care. I want to take on the tactical cube solo. It took me 110 seconds to kill it.
That's pretty impressive.
Now I waited and made sure I could pop off everything in the right order and etc, but it was nice. I was happy with it. And I've got my weapon settings, I think, set to like 25%. But yeah, I mean, it looks like you've already done pretty much most of the research. It's a matter of picking a damage type that's most effective for you. And given that the Raider, the ship that's launched out the back, and the two wingmen are Polaron, I'd kind of advise you to go Polaron.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna start looking into getting that.
I mean, it's not like in your pursuit of a Epic Phoenix token, you haven't gotten a metric ton of upgrade tokens.
Oh, I most certainly have.
Yeah. Wait for an upgrade weekend and you're good to go.
Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate the information.
Happy to help. You guys are still in the Badlands, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I grounded enough in the Badlands battle for 2,000 marks. I mean, I like doing the Badlands. It's actually a lot of fun, but
One of these days I need to sit down and grind in the Badlands because I've got an engineer that has to finish her 6th dreadnought.
You can do some serious profiteering in the Badlands.
Yeah. But I need a good, effective team to be most efficient with it.
We haven't done a good Badlands weekend in quite a while.
True.
Something to consider. Not this weekend.
Zenkethi Ground, that's Kabali Prime, right?
Zenkethi
Yes.
Ground? No, it's not Kobali.
No.
Zenkethi is
Zenkethi
Gankra.
Ground.
And if you want to do Zenkethi Ground, it's going to be a mission. I don't know
Yes,
if
it'll be
any.
a story mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. so I'm gonna have
Signs
to reroll
importance?
them.
My general
Yeah,
rule is
we're-
Zenkethi Ground is reroll.
Okay,
I always
gotta-
use. Let me.
now I'm actually have to destroy 30 ships in the battle zone I'm already in.
Oh, there you go. Super
Oh,
easy.
gee, that's gonna be so hard.
It is tremendously difficult.
I feel
I
for
know,
you,
right?
man. That's too much work.
For Zenkethi Ground, best mission that I've found is a sign of. It's in the New Frontiers of Signs and Portents.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, the problem I have with that one is that, well, number one, I can get a maximum of like 7. Because I have done that one, and I don't really want to go after. You know,
It takes a lot of time to get Zenkethi Ground.
and it's a pretty hard mission if you don't have the right stuff on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those Zenkethi brutes are not nice.
I gotta figure the right ship to put on the science machine I'm gonna start messing with.
Folks, it has been a long day for me, so I'm going to call it a night here. If everybody's good with their
Call it somewhere?
missions. Pardon?
You're calling it a night on
I'm
us?
calling it a night. Yeah, we started at 7.
What the heck, Mom?
I know,
Just
I know.
disappointing everybody.
I know. And Susan's tired and needs to go to bed.
And
I agree
you
with-
were gone for 3 days.
No, I was gone for 4
Yes,
days.
Actually, I know what ship I'm going to
And-
use.
And a prior commitment kept me from talking about Picard with you.
Pardon?
I had a prior commitment this evening, so I couldn't be here in time to talk about Picard.
Well, that's okay. We understand. But it was a good episode, I thought.
I know, but I didn't get to get your feedback on it. I missed that.
We can still chat about that as long as we give proper
Okay.
heads up and spoilers. But I'm going to log off from doing this as a live stream. I'll be on for a little bit if anybody's got questions. So, on behalf of the Darkmom Consortium, don't forget to send us all of your money so we can go to Las Vegas.
Send us your money.
Yes, really. It's the easiest way to say it.
If you can only send $1 or $2, hey,
Hey, we'll take it. Are you kidding? Yeah, we're not going to do this on the extravagant, but it still is going to cost some money. And I need to chat with a few people. We're still looking for help
Yeah.
at the booth.
you need to chat with me about your booth ideas. You
Yeah,
need
well,
to chat with.
I need
Do
to
you want
chat
me
with
to rate
Frost.
someone, Mom?
Yeah,
I
let's
would
rate
happily
somebody.
work at the booth if I could afford to get down there this year.
Pardon?
I would happily work at the booth, anything you need, but I can't afford to get down there this
Yeah,
year.
I understand. We've got somebody who's offered to help out, but a couple of bodies would be really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did it all ourselves last year for.
Yes, we did. Well, we had Scott there too, so but he won't be there this year.
Oh, we had Scott there, but yeah, we did most of it all this year. We did good.
Yeah.
We did good.
Hey, if we get enough people, we'd love to be able to set up a small area where, if we get anybody interesting by, we can do some interviews and live stream that stuff. Maybe do a radio. So, lots of ideas.
Yeah, I think one of my goals with one of the rigs will be to get a better webcam on there.
That would be good, yes.
Well.
All right, everyone. We will be on, I have no idea. We might do something impromptu tomorrow, but tomorrow's turning into a massively long day already, which is really bizarre.
What time are you gonna be on tomorrow? I won't be plugged in.
I don't know. If we do, it won't be until later in the evening because my day just wound up with my not getting home until 4 in the afternoon now. So.
Gotcha. So like 8-ish.
I don't know.
Eastern time.
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't
All
know.
right.
It also depends on if the Hubs wants to take me out for dinner or something. But probably we're gonna have spaghetti, so I will have to make pasta. Yum. I make good pasta.
All right, you just now made me hungry.
I am a good cook, but he makes really good spaghetti sauce.
I'm working on becoming a better cook than I am, but it's a slow process.
Something really easy that I do all the time, just chicken breast with lemon pepper. I sprinkle a little lemon pepper and rub it in a little bit, and then just cook that in a pan. And then I usually get like the steam and bag vegetables. Complete meal right there.
I have a fettuccine alfredo that is to die for.
Oh.
Soft baked cookies.
I don't want to compare. I don't want. So I'll let you talk about your food. I did go to culinary school.
Yeah, you've mentioned that. No, my fettuccine alfredo is, first of all, I make homemade pasta, of course, but the sauce is super simple because if you've got.
Oh, what the hell?
What?
I got hit for 380,000.
Ooh, ouch.
I've never seen that happen before.
Do we have somebody to raid, Pi?
I don't know. I'm waiting for you. So just tell me when to do it.
I was waiting for you to say you've got somebody to raid, and then I'll do this. All right. On behalf of the Darkmom Consortium, I'm going to log off here. Pi's going to have us raid somebody. So say goodnight, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. We'll talk to you later.
Oh, it's just neat.